Welcome back to We Bought a Mic, a pop culture podcast, a pop culture middle of 2023 cast for a draft, a mid-year check-in on the best favorite top movies, TV, music, video games,
pop culture,
TikToks, viral
memes.
TikToks.
Ernest keeps looking at me like I'm gonna draft the baby Gronk.
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah, you're probably gonna draft. Like, is baby Gronk number one?
I know, but it's just like,
material.
What if I don't get the first pick?
Right.
I'm not gonna get him.
Well, then you're gonna
take
have
him first.
Yeah,
It caused such an uproar in the chat.
you're gonna be stuck with like lay epic Ron DeSantis memes instead.
Baby Gronk is such weird stuff.
Welcome. My name's Ernest.
I'm a fan of all things media. My name's Hunter.
I'm a culture vulture, Drew.
Nice.
I'm Danny.
Welcome back. I guess we have turned our yearly hedonism into twice a year now.
Yeah.
This deranged madness of having you on.
And hopefully this won't take 4.5 hours.
You say that now,
But we'll see.
we'll see.
We'll see.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, are you caffeinating or are you hydrating?
Hydrated.
Good. Smart.
I'm well into my 30s now.
Smart.
Yeah. Coffee after 7 o'clock. Like, good luck at that point. All right. It's
I was just telling you before we recorded that I'm shocked that you even went to Bonnaroo, because I think I would just pass away. I would pass out. I wouldn't make it.
I was going to say, Bonnaroo, after I guess a 7-year hiatus, because my last year before this was 2016. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's been a while. And so my girlfriend and I, we just figured, let's just go. And it was awesome. It was just as fun as I remember. It's definitely like different. I think there's like a bigger emphasis on like EDM these days.
yeah.
And I think like everything used to be packed when you were at Bonnaroo, and now everyone just gravitates towards the EDM stage like as soon as it hits a pod, which is awesome because everything else is just wide open. Not wide open, but like a lot less packed.
Yeah, I mean, you told me that the other stage, which used to be, or the other tent, that used to just be like where a lot of all kinds of bands, I saw like Third Eye Blind there and stuff like that out there. Now that whole area is just EDM. It's just EDM.
It's
corner.
not just a massive stage with huge production, bigger than the second biggest stage there. Like it's bigger than that. It also has like these little pillars that also have LED screens on them.
Oh, it's just
So it's
fully
like-
trying to do EDC kind of thing.
Yeah,
like
wherever you're doing drugs, you'll be able to have a good time. Like
As it should be for a festival.
Every
you know?
stage should be sort of centered around a different drug at Bonnaroo.
This is the Whip It stage.
Yeah.
There's
It's
nothing
just like
there. You're
lettuce
hallucinating.
playing on. Yeah. But you did do the smart thing of a camping fest, which is, I think, the only way that I could do a camping fest at this age, which is you did VIP.
Yeah.
And so you did not sleep on the
Yeah.
ground.
VIP is the way to go.
I think that's what I got to do.
I cannot. If I slept on the ground for 5 days,
Out of commission.
I'd be out of commission for like a month and a half. Like I would just be done.
It's still rough. It doesn't take like away the pain of camping in that sun.
You
It's-
still have to rough it a little
it's
bit.
it's
yeah.
just a lot easier because the walks are a lot smaller. The biggest thing was the viewing at the two main
your own
stages.
section.
Yeah,
Damn.
I was up close for a lot of stuff.
Fucking
But
fancy.
That's crazy.
at the main stage, you have like your own like section where there's like bathrooms, your own bar, and then like chairs. They give you chairs that you can just sit like back and relax and just like.
Folks, this is what the other half lives like.
This is the 1%
life of the
right here.
1%.
I love a good concert chair. We went to go see The Smile, and I had a chair the whole time, just getting Tom York blown into my face. Johnny Greenwood.
You sound so
just-
old.
It was amazing. A lot of the people there were old.
Yeah, it is. It's Tom
But-
York and Johnny Greenwood.
But they also brought their kids, and their kids looked excited.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, there's like,
A lot of dads. A lot of
Yeah.
dads and their kids there. It was nice. Warming the heart.
That was such a good show.
was The Smile better than any show you saw at Bonnaroo?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, no. I asked that wrong. Was The Smile,
I know what you
No,
meant.
that's what you.
The Smile was better than every show, or no?
He says no, it was.
Yeah.
So
No.
you saw better concerts at Bonnaroo?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Right.
and who?
I would probably say Wolfpack
Okay.
or My Morning Jacket. And Foo Fighters.
You just had a blank. You just said or, and then you didn't say anything afterwards.
Once you turn 30, you'll be able to hear what I said. It's like a certain.
It's a dog voice.
It's like, I don't hear what you're saying things. And it's like,
it becomes like the sound of the adults in the Peanuts.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like wah wah wah.
No,
wah.
I think Hunter just like died for like half a second. He like convulsed.
every time that you like say what, I don't know what it is that you're saying, but you're saying I'm assuming a band, an artist of some kind, and I can feel myself black out. And it's scary. And
As soon as you turn 30, I'm going to get you.
Jim James.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? Jim James?
Jonestown? Is that what you're saying?
Does this mean anything to you?
No, I don't know what you're saying.
Okay.
I don't know what you're saying.
If you're ever like pissing me off, I'm just gonna say My Morning Jacket, and you're gonna like start like shaking,
like foaming at the mouth.
like next time we're watching a Patriots game.
So Bonnaroo was good. The Smile was good. I don't think concerts are gonna make it into this draft, but
No.
You don't fucking know.
oh, okay, there might be one. All right, you can bundle it with an album.
There's not gonna be
If I
one.
could draft Bonnaroo, I would, but I think that wouldn't be fun because I want to draft
all
something.
of
Bonnaroo.
I want to take something.
This has to
from
be
you
something that
guys.
other people have
Exactly.
been able to experience, not just like, well,
Why?
No,
You know
you
what?
should have.
This
you
was
should have
sold
seen
out,
him.
though.
You should have seen him at Fleet Foxes and at the Smile, like just going up to random people like Bonnaroo
because they had Bonnaroo shirts on and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's
I
like,
know.
yeah.
I was the guy who went to Bonnaroo and then kept my wristband on for like a month
yeah, we had some,
afterwards.
like-
Yeah.
Shit, smelly as hell.
I kept
And
mine
I'm
on for
just-
like
Getting green
years.
growing on
I
his-
think it was a long time.
It was
keeping it on
so
there.
gross, and
So
I
it was
wore it
like-
around like, yeah, you could say
That's like
I like
some-
to have a good time.
That's some classic like 19-year-old behavior of just like, I want everybody to know the cool
This is
thing
my
that I
new.
did.
This is my new personality.
yeah,
Bonnaroo.
you
Yeah,
could say
I
I like
s-
music.
You could say that I never left the farm. I don't know. This is
Yeah.
this quirky thing about me.
I snorted a random dude's ketamine at 2 a.m. Whatever.
I thought I was gonna die.
it was
What?
sick,
You told me it
dude.
was coke. I went into the K-hole. It's cool.
And
Lettuce
then I
was playing
peeked
all around
right
me.
during the drop, and it was sick.
And then I cried.
Yeah, maybe I am too old for festivals. I don't know. This is exhausting.
It
I
is
want to
exhausting.
think. I want to think that you know what, you and me specifically, we could do it because we fucking golf, bro.
You're right. Honestly, we're getting our getting
calves are
Guy
so fucking
who
shredded.
says
Hey, Drew.
festival is the same as
Drew,
golfing.
don't jump into the draft. I might draft. My
Golfing?
favorite pop culture event was
Golf.
becoming a golf guy.
I'm drafting the Live Golf League.
R.I.P.
Number one, Wyndham Clark winning the U.S. Open.
Oh,
Well,
my
the
God.
LA
We can
Country
have-
Club was
we
an
can
incredible
have-
backdrop for this one.
We can have television products on our list.
The year that this draft becomes like the U.S. Open, F1 racing, the new like Malcolm Gladwell book.
You're about to. If you take Indiana Jones, that's worse.
That's
With my first
somehow
pick,
this is worse than like any like brand advertising of like the Magic 8 Ball movie. This is worse. than all that.
The demo.
You're perpetuating
The
this.
demo for Indiana Jones is older than the demo for golf.
I'm drafting the Sharper Image Spring Drop.
Damn.
Well, now you've put me in an impossible
Number 3,
situation.
jacking off. Had a hell of a time this year with this one.
Because now if I draft Indy, I'll be like sticking it to you, and if I don't, I will be like backing out of it because I'm a pussy. So now I can't win either way. I'm fucked.
I'm putting you through the fucking ringer.
And Ernie, you better hope to God that I don't draft it before you. Okay? You better
Yeah, I
pray.
just don't want you to take it. Do you know I know you can't see my pupils close right now, but I'm dialed into Destiny right now.
Oh no, I can see it.
I've been this whole
Is that
time.
Mads Mikkelsen just going right off to your retina?
Yeah, Drew's a time traveling Nazi, folks.
Is that what? Oh my god, I don't even want to know what happens in that movie.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I suggested each one of us has 6 slots for a total of 24 items drafted. Sound good? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
Right before we recorded, we floated the idea of a totally free draft. No slots, no categories. It's not like you have to do 2 movies, 2 shows, 2 albums, none of that shit. Because I know, Drew, I know you've only seen 2 shows. I could probably guess. I think you should leave.
And
The Last of Us.
The Last of Us, yes. Those would be like his only 2 picks. So if anyone drafts those, he's fucked.
3 episodes of the new Survivor season.
Okay.
All right.
So you could have a full music only draft if that's what your heart desires.
It's just your favorites.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know?
it's just favorite things.
You could have a draft that's all New York Times recipes.
Mine does have. I have about 4 New Yorker articles in my top 7 that I'm really, really tied to.
That
so.
Barbie one was good.
Yeah, it's
coming.
big quality
Barbenheimer.
content there.
All right. So let me pull up the
Oh, also, we
random
should say
wheel.
for this mid-year draft, it has to be released on or before June 30th.
That's the
Nothing
cutoff.
that is released. So we have seen a movie that is, by the time people are listening to this, already be out. Probably
Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Part 1.
That
We will
is
do a
not-
full episode
That
on
is
that.
not eligible.
Separate episode.
unfortunately. Taylor's version of Speak Now
Not
is
eligible.
not eligible.
Not
I'm really bummed about that.
Guys, Taylor Swift is really good. I don't know. I don't want to like.
It was only
break
a matter
news
of
right
time,
here,
Hunter.
something like that.
This guy likes the new Fall Out Boy. I don't really.
I'm something
gonna-
of a
are we
feminist
gonna-
because I think that like
We'll talk about
have
it
to
the greatest
get into it.
Yeah.
pop artist of our generation is good.
All right, are we ready? I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yep.
spin the wheel.
Yeah.
I'm spinning the wheel to see who goes first, and it looks like it's me. I get first pick.
All right.
Interesting. What does that fucking wheel look like?
Yeah, it's
Show us
Oh my
the
God, it
fucking
just
wheel,
says
man.
Ernest. It just says 4 versions of Ernest.
All right.
Ernest,
Next
Dernest.
pick is
What the hell?
Drew.
Oh, okay.
That throws it off.
I was gonna be mad we were doing it.
Are
that
we doing
way,
a
but-
snake draft though? That makes it fair.
I'm good with the snake draft. Let's snake draft it.
All right, we're gonna lose track of this order because of the way we're
We-
sitting at this table.
We would never do that.
That doesn't sound like us at all.
Why don't you let's just all switch places?
Yeah, just Chinese fire drill and then Hunter.
And we're back.
Nice.
Okay, so I got
All right,
2
like
picks
3
in a
minutes
row.
later.
All right, I gotta make do here.
Okay, so it's like a loop.
You don't have 2 picks in a row.
Yes, you do.
I do.
No,
I'm
because he's
third.
last,
Yeah,
Danny's 4th.
yeah,
and then we snake back.
yeah.
So me, you, Hunter.
Oh, that's
Damn.
awful.
So eat shit and die, dude.
This
Drew,
is- this
Drew
is
should we
gonna
just
be-
switch spots right
There's a
now
huge
just to make
advantage if
this
it's not a
work?
snake.
Yeah, we
Let's
should.
just
All right. What's your first pick?
All right, so I thought about like whether I should go if I did get the first pick with something that I know you guys want, but I think that I'm just gonna go with something that I feel like
Because you're not picking again for like another
I
7
know.
picks.
I know, but I know that you would want to pick this. I just don't know if this would be your number 1 pick, but I still gotta go with it.
Go for it.
The Bear season 2.
Oh man.
Damn, number 1 pick.
You're
Let's
already
go.
doing it?
Yeah.
Shit.
I gotta.
I thought I had time.
No, I need it. I need it. I couldn't bear not having it.
Okay, okay. Is this your favorite airport hangar watch?
Yeah.
Watch while actively in Logan International.
Watch this on an iPad during vacation throughout various travels, and try.
Yeah. I was gonna ask if you were randomly weeping.
It was mind blowing. It was stupendous. I was completely just blown away by how good this season of TV is. The first season ended up being number 2 of the year for me last year behind Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
This one, it's so good that I kind of want to put it on.
But it's good in like a different way. You know?
Yeah.
It's not. It's still got the high stress, but it doesn't feel as like, excessive almost. Like
You know, it's way more mellow.
Yeah.
It's like quieter. It's more emotional. It still has like the intensity, but it's more about these characters and getting to know them more.
Yeah, they do like a lot of the B side characters. Like they get a bigger moment. Like I'm a huge Matty Madison fan.
He's incredible.
He was so good in it.
Yeah.
King.
Yeah.
I think the MVP this season is Evan Moss-Bachrocker as Richie.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Right?
yeah, cousin.
Yeah.
He gets probably the best episode of the season, where he kind of the first episode starts with him saying he wants to find his purpose, and then in episode 7 he finds that.
It ends up being so much deeper because it's like such a cool callback to.
Yeah, so he gets probably the best episode. I want to do a whole thing about like the art of the cameo and the art of the guest star. So once you guys get a chance to see this, I'd love to like break it up a little bit more, because the way they deploy like the cameos and the guest stars in this season is expert. That's how you fucking do it.
I am mad one that I follow enough people on Twitter that like I had all these
at this point
ahead of time, which is a bummer. I was gonna ask you though, because this was just a fucking binge dump. It just got all dumped together.
I like it that way. I mean, I like it both ways, but yeah, it was just.
I guess because I don't know. I have no good reason for not catching up on this yet, since it came out a couple weeks ago. But like,
we've been
think this would have been better
out of the fucking
on the
range,
range,
bro.
dude?
On the range.
Smacking balls
That's
around.
true. I'm just like, I can only watch so many Scotty Scheffler highlights. And, no, what I was going to ask is like, do you think like, would you have preferred this to be in the conversation for 2 months in the same way another show that we're going to draft here today, Succession, was?
Well, Succession, I think, has like that weightier importance to it. You know, hour-long episodes. It's about rich people. It just has like this more
Powerful.
So it's
more to
more
be
important.
dissected.
Yeah, so it comes off as like more pompous. The bear feels like leaner, scrappier. But Lee and I talked about the binge drop aspect because she generally is against week to week because she loves just burning through a show. And there are a couple episodes this season where I was glad that it was a binge. I think that the week to week is better for like building a conversation online so that it spaces out per episode, like what people focus on. But in terms of like sitting down and watching it, I was glad to like be able to press play on the next one, because the way they structure the story, there are like transitionary episodes. It feels like you are almost meant to watch these in like pairs or triples. Triples is best.
Triples is best.
Yeah. So I felt good. You know, there are a couple where it's like it hits you and I'm like, whoa. After one, I'm like, that's plenty. I'll stop there. But there's a couple where it's like, all right, I'll watch the next one. And it feels like, you know, they kind of pair well together.
No, I completely agree with you. I think it stands more as like, what was it? Like it was 10 episodes, 30 minutes each. It stands as like a 5-hour movie almost, you know?
Yeah.
Instead of like 10 1-hour long amazing movies, you know, like this, it just didn't feel like, because there's some weeks in those like, you know, weekly drops, you're just disappointed. It's like, this was a like filler or adding on to it. You know?
And then you got to wait a whole week to like see where it goes. Yeah. So I do think it's bad that because when it came out, I saw it as like, oh my God, now I have fucking 10 episodes of The Bear to get through. It felt like this wall of like, fuck, immediately you're just like, oh, I'm behind. But I'm glad that I watched it with Lee and we kind of made it a little vacation watch, and it was perfect. It was fucking perfect.
It's just hard to like find a sense of community when like a show drops in one sitting. Yeah. You know, that's the only thing I missed out on.
Yeah.
But it's still amazing show. I love it. Like it's so good. And you put me on it, I think, actually. First season, yeah.
Incredible.
You were like, watch it. I was like, all right.
Yeah, chef, dude.
So good.
Chef.
Yeah, so I'll be curious to hear what you guys think when you see it. It is fucking phenomenal.
It's awesome.
A triumph.
I think that season 1 was like my number 3 or 2.
It was up there. Yeah.
It's like an unfaultable show, and from everything that I've heard, you know who I'm fucking mad at is my mom.
Why?
She is the one, like you saw all the cameos on Twitter.
My mom was just texting me everyone she saw on The Bear.
Like, damn it,
Instantly
Beth.
ruined it.
Knock it off.
This is a call up. Stop talking to me.
Yeah.
No, now I feel bad. I love you, Beth.
I've had a couple issues with the audio, so I'm sorry, listeners, if it drops. I hope it stays like this for the rest of the episode, but it is going to switch to the shitty phone audio a couple times.
Yeah.
So we're good. We're still on it. Actually, let me make sure the camera's still recording.
That would be rough.
I mean, luckily it's caught on the first pick of this draft and not like
we're good.
halfway through this thing.
My computer, I think I need to get a new computer because this computer sometimes it gets like overloaded if I'm doing too many things. I got like too much shit open. I need to close some of
too
this
much
shit down.
on you.
What
Got
kind
too
of
much
RAM you got
fucking
on that
shit
bitch?
on me.
I don't know, 16? I kind of want to say 16. That might be too much.
Smartest Mac user.
So the Bear is my pick.
Number one
first
overall pick.
Great pick.
Drew, you're up.
I'm gonna take Into the Spider-Verse Part 1.
Damn!
So that's not the name of it.
Spider-Verse, whatever.
Suck my fucking.
It's Across the Spider-Verse, guys. And there's no part 1. They dropped the part 1.
It's actually Part 1's monster.
Have you seen this, Danny?
I haven't yet.
You
But
gotta
this is
see
like
it.
on my watch list.
It's fucking amazing.
So we're gonna talk about Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, which does a lot of similar things in that it's something that I didn't really see as doable, which is like a Part 1 movie that is like really, really fucking good, but is also like very definitively a Part 1 and not a complete product. This is one of the best movies I've seen in years. Like it's
art.
yeah, visually it's like 8 magnitudes better than any animated film I've ever seen in my life, like including the first one. I think it's pretty handedly better looking than the first movie. And you know why? As it turns out, because they were whipping those fucking animators for like 16-hour shifts.
Yeah.
Not a great fucking look.
Hey, listen, I posted that article about the other two. You read that?
Yeah.
Same deal. Guess what?
Well,
The show's good. I'm gonna watch it.
I think
Sorry.
that's a little different. That one to me reads more of David Zaslav trying to shift some of the.
Oh, that's
blame
more of like
someone else.
Zaslav called it a
'Cause
favor for that one.
He's under the heat lamp a little bit more, so he's like, let's put the attention over there.
I do want to say, because you referenced it was a variety piece, right? That was what I
think it was Hollywood Reporter.
Was it Hollywood Reporter?
Yeah.
But like that Hollywood Reporter piece, it's not a great look for our boys, but specifically Lord.
Yeah, Phil Lord
is
comes off
tough.
rough from that piece.
And I don't want to diminish any of this, but unfortunately, that kind of is the norm in animation. And it sucks that animators are
even Pixar. There you hear
animators
stories
are
like
worked
that.
to the fucking bone, working like 16-hour days constantly in the animation studio space, and that's just the norm. And that's not saying that it should be accepted in any way. That's awful. We should they should be treated like
it's the
human beings like
whiplash
everybody else.
argument. Like, what does it take for greatness? It looks like it was a Vulture article.
Oh, it's a Vulture. Gotcha.
Hey, that's good for Vulture.
Yeah.
One of the best movies I've seen in years. Unbelievable villain, unbelievable universe. We sort of went a little in depth on this when we talked about it on pod.
Yeah, check out our episode.
Well, that the multiverse thing has been really thoroughly covered by a lot of mostly very funny, like comedic leaning media. And this is the first time that I've seen it be given a purpose.
Right.
Like this is not just positing that there is a multiverse. It's like, this is why there's a multiverse.
Right.
I think it's a really, really inspired spin. And
looks stunning.
Yeah. A lot of the visual comedy works incredibly well. The dramatic moments, one of the most impressive things about the whole movie is that they all work really, really well. That's something that I wouldn't even ding it that hard if they didn't work in the movie. I'd be like, yeah, it's a cartoon and it's got all this shit going on. They don't have time to make the drama work. But they did. They made the fucking drama work.
The characters are going through some shit.
Yeah, and you give a fuck. They give you time to spend in these conversations. You're not just like using that as like a 10-second, like while we're walking to the next fight.
That was one thing that especially jumps out on rewatches is specifically that scene with Miles and his mom under the water tower is just so
low key.
It's
best.
like gonna be one of the scenes of the year. It's just so good, so heartfelt.
Yeah, awesome movie. Schwartzman, big year.
Yeah, between this and Asteroid City, yeah.
Bro's cooking.
Yeah. Which, speaking of, Hunter, you're up. Are you going to take
The Bear?
I'm not going to take Asteroid City.
Ooh,
not on this
I thought
pick.
you would. Okay.
Not on this one. We'll see. I have to think a little bit strategically here. And I don't know if Danny's going to do this, but I'm going to be honest with myself here. And I'm going to take what I have as the number one thing off the board because it is, I think, arguably one of the greatest video games I've ever played in my entire life. And I'm taking Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Nice.
I'm taking this just because I have Danny right here next to me.
Oh,
and
no,
I
he's upset.
And I just know that he's the only other one at this table who understands how this is like a perfect game. Like it truly is like, I don't understand how they took Breath of the Wild, which is like a 10 out of 10 perfect game, and they made it better in every single way.
Everything that like kind of sucked about the first game, they just made it awesome in the next one.
It's just like, I now at this point, I've like uncovered pretty much all of the depths, like lit it all up. I've explored every like nook and cranny of this map, put in already, I think, close to 100 hours into this game in the couple months since its release. And I still feel like there's so much left to do.
I remember the first time you like fall into the world and it's like, okay, you're back in Hyrule, you know? And then I'm like, okay, you shoot up through the things. Okay, so there's a whole Sky Kingdom. And then I fell into one of those stupid depth holes. I'm like, there's a whole nother fucking plane down here.
It's 3 tiers, this world that you're in.
Oh,
It's
3
like
tiers.
one of them is huge. Like one of them is just massive. And then the coolest aspect of the game is like the auto building feature.
Yes.
Where you like save like cars or planes you've built. I've seen people do crazy shit on those.
Dude, people are building like self-propelling like fucking robots, and
I've seen like torture
cars.
chambers. It's crazy.
Right.
Someone built a Beyblade like simulator like on it. It's so fucking cool.
Yeah, I saw that. That's so cool. I've meanwhile, some of my auto builds include tying 12 bombs together and making a giant bomb to then drop on people. It's things like that. Like all of the Breath of the Wild's abilities now seem like so like stupid and nothing in comparison
They
to the
instantly
new.
give you all of them too.
Yeah, that you have. It's the grabber one, which
Magnesis.
basically, well, it's not so much magnesis, but it's ultra hand, so that you can like move things around, grab them,
You
combine
fuse.
things together. Auto build, which you mentioned, kind of like pivot, piggybacks off of that.
The one that you go through the
Yeah,
ceiling.
the ascend, where you can just like see a tall space in front of you. As long as there's nothing on top of it, you can just ascend through the top of it. The one where you can rewind time.
Yeah.
So like if a guy is throwing a bomb at you, you can just rewind time and then it goes back and explodes him. Like I think that where Breath of the Wild.
Wait, but you didn't like Tenet?
Got him.
Yeah, I actually did reverse the time. What they call it? A time
Temporal pincer movement.
Yeah, and
God
there's
damn it.
well, temporal pincer movement. That's the 4th ability that you have.
I can't take
Now
this.
I'm
No,
listening.
It's
I'm gonna drop a nuke
I think-
on this podcast.
that's a different Nolan movie. God damn it, Ernest. No, I think that's where Breath of the Wild had all these cool abilities. It was fun. At the end of the day, I would just see a bunch of people and just like be like, oh, I'm just gonna go over and like slice them with my sword and
Yeah.
shield. This, I just like want to get creative. I want to like play around with all of the elements that this game has to offer. It's funny, like once this game came out, because this game got delayed about a year from wherever it was originally supposed to be released. And in the interviews afterwards, the creators are basically like, we had this game done a year ago, and we just spent the last year fine tuning everything and making sure the physics worked as perfect as possible. And like, hey, video game industry, take fucking notes. Don't release incomplete games.
Yeah.
I will wait.
That's just
a year.
Nintendo. Nintendo always releases bangers.
It's unbelievable, man. It's so good. If I had like the one tiniest notes, the voice acting is like
a
kind
little
of bad.
weird. Yeah.
Well, Zelda games are mostly just reading dialogue.
Well, there's a
You don't
couple of
hear it.
cutscenes that you actually see with Zelda, and Zelda's like, Link, please. But otherwise, man, it's so good.
It's an excellent game.
What do we think is going to happen with the inevitable Illumination Legend of
It's
Zelda
gonna be a
movie?
fucking abomination. Are you kidding me?
Is
Like,
it going to be like Jason Bateman as Link? just basically doing Zootopia again.
Jason Bateman.
It's such a good game though. You didn't jump in yet.
I'm still on Breath of the Wild, dude. I want to go
man.
through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm about to beat my second I know this is crazy realm talk right now, Drew. But
Yeah, I mentioned it. There's
Drew's
3
checked out.
tiers
I'm
to the
about to
world,
be-
and
I
Drew's
don't
just
feel so good.
phasing out.
I'm about to
My
be
morning jacket, my morning jacket, my morning jacket.
about to be my second divine what are they
The
called
Divine
again?
Beast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
divine beast. Yeah. So still early.
Yeah.
I'm doing the desert one. So I
Okay.
did the water one. Now I'm doing the
Gerudo?
desert one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's another thing that's just like even better in this world. Is just like the like different kind of bosses and the layers, dungeons that you have to go through, the abilities that you get once you actually defeat a little area. Like
Yeah.
my boy, the Rito dude, is just like bursting me with fucking air every time I'm flying around.
The puzzles have like 3 or 4 different ways to solve each
That's,
one.
I'm so glad that you brought that up because I love that it's not just that there's one way to solve a puzzle.
Dude, but there's like really like ass backwards ways where you'll do it and you'll be like, that was so hard. And then you'll just watch it on YouTube and it's some dude like, yeah, you just rewind here, move this up there. And I'm like, well, fuck, I should have done that.
But also there's been times where like it almost feels like it's a little bit broken where like based on the name of the puzzle, it's like, oh, I'm supposed to like use my ultra hand ability here and stuff like that. It's like, well, if I just like get that and like that shoots up in the air, so I'm just gonna like jump on it and then just rewind time and jack myself up, and now I beat the dungeon. Like
Yeah.
it's all kinds of different
It's
ways to
awesome.
solve the world.
All right. That's Tears of the Kingdom. So we've got.
Was I correct? Were you about to draft that?
I was
that coming
not.
up? Okay.
No.
I knew that it
But it was
might
on your
have-
radar.
It is on my
Yeah.
radar. It's like 4,
Okay.
3.
So we got a show, a movie, a video game.
I think
Will you do the first music pick?
I think I'm gonna make people angry with my next 2 picks.
Oh, you get 2. That's
Yeah.
right.
Back to back.
Okay, let's go.
So
You're gonna-
I'm definitely
You're gonna
drafting.
piss off the haters and losers.
I think you should leave season 3.
okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I had to do it.
Well, you were just here for the zip line.
Yeah. When he fucking spins off the zip line into the pool.
That's one that's so funny to rewatch because they're doing the like this spring break 26 bachelors come together
Yeah.
and just in every shot you just see him like splashing in the water, just like spinning around.
He's shoving the salad into his mouth just to get back on the zip line.
He says the other guy's a hoe. A hoe.
Ah,
Face.
sure. Ah.
Oh,
He's like crying.
one thing to note:
Tim crying.
at Bonnaroo,
I don't want to go
I-
home. I don't like what's there for me.
At Bonnaroo, like the show had just come out like a week or 2 before, and
Yeah.
there were so many season 3 totems.
Already?
Nice.
There was a dude.
Wow.
If you're watching, I want to shout you out. It was a dude with the egg, and it has a little bush. He was at every show I was at. Every single one. I'm like, this dude has good music taste. Like,
How did people even have time to watch before Bonnaroo?
I don't know, but they were there, man.
Damn.
And every time Mitchell and I saw, it's like, there he is. He's here. We saw so many like Tim Robinson like totems, but I mean,
Any driving crooners?
no, but whenever you would like mention it, I wore like a couple like Tim Robinson shirts.
Yeah,
and
you
whenever-
had the dice guy.
Yeah, I had the dice guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like people, whenever like you meet someone in that, they're always nice. They're always great people. Like there's not one asshole that likes
Yeah.
that show.
Unless you start talking about your kids.
That has replaced. I think that there was a period of time. We've talked about this on the show in the past where like what is like the best comedy like fan base that isn't like pretentious, because
Yeah.
there's a period of time where like we were big like Rick and Morty fans and that game like way too mainstream, so
I
it was
think
like almost like
Nathan-
a
Nathan
community
maybe.
Nathan for you,
Yeah.
like one of those. I
If
think
I
that-
meet
I
any-
think you should leave as the new barometer show.
If I meet any Kyle Mooney heads, I'm like, you're special.
Yeah.
That's rare because it's not like his fan base grew in the last 10 years.
Oh no, it went down.
The stock is not doing great right now.
hey,
Yeah.
hey.
If you
I
say,
think-
I might have a
monitoring it.
pick coming up. Well, I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
I might have spoiled it just now by saying it,
It's
but
okay.
we'll get
in the
to it.
SNL.
No, no.
Yeah, but that's my first pick. You guys already talked about it, so
It's great.
great show.
Love
I
it.
had to. I just had fear that one of you would take it, like because I'm not
Oh,
picking again.
yeah.
If
for
it
a
was
while.
coming back around,
one of
I'd
us
probably,
definitely, I would have absolutely taken it.
What's your
Yeah.
second pick?
Scaring the hose.
Ah, no, I'd see.
JPEG Mafia and
that
Danny
was-
Brown, baby.
I knew if I was taking one of them that you were gonna get that. And
Yeah,
that's
I always liked
Stop scaring the house.
JPEG and Dan. I like Danny a little more, but this album is fucking perfect. It's so good.
This is my 100 gecs.
You're wrong.
It just
You're
doesn't
wrong.
click.
It's so
wrong.
good.
You're wrong.
I love Danny Brown too, but
So you don't like the beats?
The beats are like the best part.
It's like the best beats I've ever heard.
I'm never in the mood
life.
for that specific sound.
Using a milkshake sample like by Khalees. My milkshake.
It'll
Dude,
click.
fentanyl tester. Oh, man.
Don't worry,
Fentanyl
it'll-
tester,
it'll click.
Kingdom
I'll get there.
Hearts Key.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts
Oh.
Key is so good.
This
Kingdom
is,
Hearts Key is one of the most like insane beats and beat switches I've ever heard in a song that just works masterfully.
It's the best collection of beats I've heard since Daytona.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Period. Like
that was a great fucking album.
Yeah, it's it's got that like Kanye West like production, but then you have JPEG and Danny going over it, and it's so sick. It's so good. Perfect is another one I really like a lot.
I've been
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I see what you're doing.
This I'm not gonna lie. This one's really devastating for me.
Yeah, I knew. I think you should leave from all of you, but I knew this hurt you the most.
And you wanted to.
I had to. I'm not picking for so long. I think I'm safe with most of my the rest, like 2 of my picks, but one of them you guys might take. I'll be
You're
cool
like
with.
Pretty Lights like teaser poster came out. And that was enough for you. And
No album yet, but when that comes out, you guys won't hear from me.
I knew that by taking Tears of the Kingdom, I was giving this up for you. This is like tied for my favorite album of the year so far. It's so fucking.
It's
it might end up being my favorite.
I think it's very handedly my favorite album of the year.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It's so good.
But I mean, how many times have you listened to it? Like once, twice?
Yeah, maybe once.
Yeah, it's special. I think it blew me away the first time I listened to it.
Here's what I'll do. I'll go to the gym and listen to it in the headphones.
That might be
because I
good.
think the only time I heard it was just in the car driving around.
Boo. No, put that shit on in the gym.
Yeah.
With like the best headphones that you own.
I'll give
Yeah,
you some
bump that
C4
shit.
before you go.
And a Celsius.
Muscle milk.
I dump my C4 into my Celsius.
And then wash it down with Soylent.
Oh my god! You shit your brains.
Yeah, I'd be at the gym.
I'm on a liquid diet. It's the worst liquid you could possibly imagine.
Catch me in the Planet Fitness bathroom, sitting and puking.
Literally the meme of the guy just covered in sweat. Like, all right, time to go get a run in.
All right.
That's you going golfing.
For real.
All right. Which one of you is going to break my heart? Let's go.
Hunter.
All
You're
right.
up.
Well, you took was tied for my favorite album of the year, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the other one. If you think I'm stupid now, you should see me when I'm high and I'm smarter than I look. I'm the dumbest girl alive.
I can't
I'm taking
do it.
10,000
I
gecs.
can't do it.
This album
go.
is perfect. This is, I think the only thing weighing against this album is that it's like 26 minutes long. That like
It's lean.
it's so lean. It's
Yeah.
so
No fat, no
tight.
bullshit.
Not a little morsel of fat on this thing. It is so lean. I mean, if the beats aren't the best in Scaring the Hose, 10,000 gecs, what he is doing with Dylan is doing with the distortion and with the production on this album is unlike anything I've ever heard in my life. I was like automatically in the bag for this because I love 1,000 gecs. Fucking love that album. I discovered it later, else it would have been on my 2019 best of the year list. And pop punk or just punk in general is like one of my favorite genres. So
You're a big ska
and
guy.
ska, dude, when I heard I Got My Tooth Removed or Frog on the Floor, it brought back 15-year-old me just skanking at a Real Big Fish show. I think that this album is so fucking good. It's 757 is one of my songs of the year.
757.
It's so good.
It's great.
It's
I
so
love
good.
It.
I'm
We went to the
factoring
show.
into this that also going to that concert
Yeah,
and seeing them
they were great live.
Just
Oh,
unbelievable.
as soon as you start winning, Danny goes on his phone.
Yeah.
No, I'm writing. I'm writing down. I'm writing down like everyone's picks.
Hunter's a hoe.
This
I can stay on
band
my phone for a
sucks.
really long time.
Yeah, it rocks.
I'm sorry.
Mom's being robbed.
I just don't get it. I don't. I've tried.
You will.
I've tried so hard. I feel like I'm on a TV show and all of you are playing a prank on me.
Yeah, it's like jury duty.
Guys, look how sick this is. And I listened to it. I'm like, this is dog shit. I don't get it. I tried. I listened to the album twice.
That's okay.
I had Dane yelling at my ear and Bonnaroo during a show saying,
so funny.
Danny, you need to listen to 100
That's so
gecs.
funny that you guys are literally at a concert for another band and Dane's like, no, but really you should listen to 100
No, it was
gecs,
like, it was
though.
very like nonchalant. We're like listening and he like looks at me and he's like,
You gotta
yeah,
listen.
you have to listen.
You gotta
to
give.
100 gecs.
You gotta give.
You
dude.
have to.
That's Dane just being like, this is mids,
He
but
had
like, you
those
know, it's
crazy-
not.
I can't help but think about 100
He had
gecs.
those crazy eyes too, like you
Fucking
have to.
pupils just fully out,
I mean,
dilated
100
hell.
gecs is kind of like the Wes Anderson of music, where it's
Yeah.
like it's a very specific
Never had a bad
style,
song.
and if that style doesn't vibe with you, it just doesn't.
Was that show sold out? The one you guys went to?
Yeah.
I
I think it's sold
probably-
out.
Yeah, except for the ticket we bought for you.
I
There was
must have
just
lost
one
it. I don't know.
space right there next to us.
Damn, I must have lost it. And you guys looked like you had so much fun.
Yeah, dude.
You looked nuts.
Yeah,
It was great.
You looked like you had so much
Shout
fun.
out to Crazy Nate.
It's totally different
Shouts
vibe.
out Pointy Nate.
Yeah,
Totally different vibe from Fleet Foxes.
yeah. You're gonna have to opposite. I was there like a couple weeks apart, and it was just like you could not get further away from those two crowds.
You're gonna
Just
have
like
to-
You're wearing like a flannel shirt.
Yeah, there were dudes in flannels with like mustaches and like the hiking
Yeah.
shoes.
No, I was actually at Fleet Foxes with like drip pants and chains.
Yeah.
If I had
Absolutely.
an orchard.
Yeah, I was at 100 gecs rocking Patagonia.
Yeah, and like one of those
Nice
tiny
North Face
beanies.
jacket.
But, I mean, I understand like what makes it good. I think like for me, it's just like too much auto tune. I think the production
That's
really
the
good.
point.
Yeah, I think that's where like I fall short though.
Well,
I think the production is sick. Like I think it's like
No,
really
it's okay.
good.
You don't think that hip hop is real music. You don't think that autotune is real music. Yeah.
I mean,
Not real.
the thing that
hip-hop.
blows my mind
This is
about
real.
This is real hip hop.
the thing that blows my mind about the auto tune is that it feels like an integral part of Laura's like coming out trans story, that she's able to like make her voice sound more feminine.
So you're calling
with the
Danny
auto-tune.
transphobic is what you're saying.
No,
That's what I'm. That's exactly what I'm
That's
hearing.
what it's sounding like. I think that it's one of those things where it's just like that's part of the music. And I
Yeah.
can understand why that is a barrier for you. If that's just like a fundamental part of the
It almost-
music.
It's Broken Side 2. It's literally that's what it sounds like to me.
You know what? It reminds me.
Let's get freaky now. Let's get fucking freaky
Let's
now.
get fucking freaky now.
I would so go to a Broken Side show.
Broken Side would go
I
hard.
saw them at Warped Tour. I'm
Bro.
not kidding. I saw it.
I heard they're playing Camping World. They sold it out.
oh my god.
Yeah, in the bathroom.
As you're just doing like the worst meth of your life and just fucking.
So 100 gecs. Tell me if this analogy works. It almost reminds me of watching like a rotoscoped movie, where like you're just gonna have to deal with that. Like it's gonna be a little
That's how it
distracting,
is.
and you're just gonna have to power.
Linklater's
through.
just doing this, okay?
Yeah.
We just have to let it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it is a jarring choice, but if you're willing to let it happen, you know.
Right.
It is funny that 10,000 gecs is like unlistenable for you, Danny, because I do want you to listen to 1,000 gecs now, because 1,000 gecs is so much more harder
Yeah.
to listen to. 1,000 gecs just has songs where it's just like, we want to just make like dissonant noises for the next 2.5 minutes, and there's no
Right.
beat. It's just me like.
Except for like a couple songs, you know.
No,
like
but
Money Machine.
like there's just like
Yeah.
filler, like 3 or 4 like almost like transitionary
Yeah.
songs, like get.
What's funny is that 100 gecs was brought up to me 2 years ago when they were going to play, I think, the 2021 Bonnaroo, and they were playing on Thursday.
Oh, that's the one that got canceled.
Yeah, and my friend Trey was like, dude, you have to listen to 100 gecs. And I tried it. I was like, yeah, it's just not for me. And then all of you were like, I fucking love 100 gecs. It's the fucking sickest. Danny, you're crazy if you don't like it. And then
Hey, we
You could
never
have been
said
on the
you're
cutting
crazy.
edge, Danny. You could have downloaded TikTok in 2014 and just been ahead of all of us. And
There's-
you're Listen, you're just becoming a
There's
dinosaur. It's okay.
There's like Venn diagrams. There's no space in between My Morning Jacket fans and 100 gecs fans. Like it's just like
It's just
two
circles.
separate circles.
That's
Yeah.
true.
No,
Yeah.
that probably checks out exactly.
Yeah.
All right. That is Hunter's pick.
All right.
Drew, you're up.
F1.
No, Drew's not an F1 guy.
No, I'm an F1 guy.
I couldn't give
That'll
a
come
fuck
back.
about F1. If you're playing a sport like abroad, I can't watch it. I can't keep track of what time it is over there.
Let me tell
I'm
you.
sorry.
Yeah,
as
you're
somebody-
a flat earther.
European soccer.
Yeah, you're like, what? It's like dark there, right?
yeah,
it's
the
light
sun
here,
is
so it's
on
got to
the-
be dark there.
The sun is
European
on the other
soccer's sick,
side.
though.
European Champions League.
Yeah. All right. What have you got?
So I have two really great options
Barbie movie.
that I'd be very happy.
not
That
out
does
yet.
not come out yet.
Barbie trailer.
Yeah, the Barbie.
Listen, the Barbie
the
trailer
rest
does
of your
go
list
hard.
is just trailers.
He's drafting Baby Gronk.
Poor Things, that teaser poster. It's
The
That is a great teaser.
this is a hard.
Draft something you're scared of Ernest stealing.
I know. Trust me, I know.
Indiana Jones.
I'm definitely scared of him stealing both of these things, but
Are any of them blue?
I am going.
Ernie exclusively drafts blue things.
Are we going for wins here? Are we trying to win the populace vote?
No, I'm going for what I love and what makes me
this
happy.
is for me.
I don't even know what I like anymore, man. I know what I know what the people want me to like.
Well, do you want me to list some of the things you drafted in your like hype draft that we did?
Yeah,
Okay, so you got
this is interesting.
Gorillaz Cracker Island. His first pick, which was insane.
It wasn't.
Okay.
It's like if half of Spider-Verse was already out when we did that draft.
Okay, Barbie.
That is true. Like
Barbie,
a third
which
of the album was already released.
is about to come out. The Curse, which I still don't believe is actually
I
ever
don't-
coming out.
Has that even been filmed?
Roosevelt, which is not a real movie.
Man, always. I think, Ernie, did you want to read this list just so that you could shout out Drew drafting Roosevelt?
I actually forgot that was on there.
Exclusively
Until
for
just-
Roosevelt.
I wish I could draft it, but it just wasn't that good.
The Killer, the new David Fincher movie, that
Has Marty
hasn't come out
lost
yet.
his touch?
White House Plumbers, which I don't think exists.
It did come out, didn't
No,
it?
that came out.
I think the entire thing
It came out, and I don't think I heard a single thing about it, like positive or negative. It might as well just like not exist.
It's it came out like as soon as HBO Max
it's in the
went
Max
to Max.
void.
Yeah.
Tough.
What else?
Maestro, which hasn't come
Facts.
out yet, and Killers of the Flower Moon, which hasn't come out yet.
Well, that's a good draft. That's
Not
like-
for this episode.
I just you're a big Scorsese guy, and you just had to make sure that you locked down his next two projects, and I
What
respect
are you
that.
fucking drafting?
I am gonna take.
Roosevelt.
What are you fucking?
I'm gonna take The Last of Us.
Ooh, let's go.
Oh, that's one of
wow.
mine. That's one of
Drew
mine.
low key getting the
We're
heaviest picks.
Well, we're
right
in
now.
we're in sort of like the non-hype period where like the season came out months ago.
early in the year.
No one's
January.
and it's too early to think about it in terms of award season.
Did you play the game?
Did you watch the show?
Yeah.
We talked about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you even play the My Morning Jacket game?
Why do you guys keep just like having dead air here? I don't understand what you're doing.
It's just a guy in the middle of a cornfield playing the guitar.
Yeah. Last of Us fucking rocked.
Yeah, it's just it's the hype is going to pick back up around award season because there will be very real pushes for like almost everyone.
Yeah.
involved.
That is
Pedro
if the
and Bella.
Emmys fucking happen. TBD on that shit.
Facts.
So
So
yikes. yeah.
unbelievable show. It held the belt for a while there. Like it held the
Before Succession. Yeah.
Yeah, it had the culture belt. It was a huge deal week to week. It delivered on pretty unattainable expectations, like typically unreachable, like match the appeal, and popularity of a really popular video game.
Yeah.
Gamers are like the worst people on earth to try to make happy. Like that never happens.
I was so happy with it.
I know that's what I'm saying.
I was so happy with
That's what
it.
I'm fucking saying. Like it worked for so many people.
It's definitely different. And I get why people are upset, but it's like I played this game, like 10 years ago?
Yeah.
And like I wanted so many normal people to understand how great like the story was in this game.
Uh-huh.
And then they just slapped on Pedro Pascal on some and they're like, watch this. And it was fucking awesome.
It's phenomenal. Bella Ramsey is like,
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
She did great.
Absolute stud. I'm so I'm historically. I'll hate on a fucking kid. I don't give a fuck how old they are. She absolutely rips.
You'll hit a kid, you said?
Hate.
Yeah.
I'll hit on a kid.
I'm not gonna lie, that's what I thought you said, and I was like, "Where am
Listen,
I?"
I have no shame. I'll hit on a
I'd
kid.
rather
okay?
you like 100 gecs.
Yeah. Is this Tim?
me just professing that I.
You're like grooming children at the 100 gecs concert. Like, hey,
You're gonna have
Gen
to
Z.
cut all this out.
No, it has it has really, really unbelievable standalone episodes. Also a huge overarching plot. I think another reason that the hype may have died down just a bit is that it didn't end on the strongest note.
Yeah.
I wasn't thrilled with how it ended.
Kind of rushed a little bit.
Yeah, it felt
Yeah.
to my
Another
untrained
episode.
eye with I didn't have any game time frame to like reference, and it just felt a little bit off the way it ended. That doesn't change the overall strength of the season, and the fact that like part of the trade-off with it ending like that is that like they're in it for the long haul here. Like they're clearly thinking forward to
Setting
next
things
season.
up.
Season 2 is gonna be fucking nuts, though.
I know.
If
Yeah.
you played the second game,
I
it's
know.
It's gonna be.
I've had like
fucking
some like
nuts.
story arc things spoiled for me, so I know where it's going. But I wasn't on that episode of The Last of Us to give my thoughts because
Oh, that's right.
I refuse to listen to episodes where I don't get to hear myself speak.
Shout out to Javi.
Yeah, Javi stepped in for me.
Shout out to Javi. Yeah.
That's my biggest criticism with season 1 is that there are some like 10 out of 10 perfect episodes, but it almost felt like there's like, of course there's like the iconic episode with F. Murray and, not F. Murray Abraham,
Just
fucking
Murray Bartlett.
Murray Bartlett and Nick Offerman. But
They should
also,
have put in F. Murray in there.
F. Murray Abraham would have been great in there.
Yeah, just throw
Let's
him
give
in.
our boy. He was in a show last year instead. But I also the one-off episode with Bella Ramsey and her friend.
Yeah, her
Girlfriend?
girlfriend.
Flashback.
The
A
flashback
little bit
episode.
of both. Yeah.
Those are like the two really standout episodes. That and the cannibal episode. Those
Yeah.
three. But I feel like the show was not as good whenever it was trying to tell like a linear story overarching, and whenever it was in like kind of reaching those points of the season, that's when it felt a little bit rushed and a little bit more
Yeah.
like, all right, we have to like make this a franchise and we have to continue this on, so we have to have
I thought
moments.
I thought every episode of the season was strong. I didn't think there were any low points, but
I would throw in the pilot as like in a really elite episode.
Oh, the pilots, yeah, you're right.
Like,
it's an excellent,
really
excellent
fucking
pilot.
good.
That's
Yeah.
how you do it. That's
Yeah.
how you do it,
Yeah.
especially with all the pressure of people expecting shit, from the game. Like that's how you fucking do it. Craig Mazin like knocked it out of the park.
The similarities
Yeah.
were so like spot on.
Yeah, they just
Spot on.
redo certain sequences
Yeah.
like pretty much shot for shot. But I'll say the same thing I said in that episode with Javi, that like it's better because you have these fucking actors.
Yeah.
Like
Listen,
I also will.
I
didn't play the
yeah.
game, so I don't really give a shit about
Damn.
you recreating this
acting
episode.
is
if it's good.
incredible.
Yeah, and that's why it works.
That's what I love, that I like played the game, because I knew what was gonna happen. Like there was a scene where Mitchell was like, "Oh, thank God he's alive," and then I'm like, he's seconds away from turning and getting shot in the fucking head. Like I was like,
I will say I was a little shocked that they took every opportunity to swerve away from the infected. Like there
Yeah.
was that one episode, I guess is the second episode the one where they're in the Boston Museum.
yes.
That's
That
another
one,
great one.
is like heavy infected, and there's a couple episodes like where
They, like,
they'll
sprinkle 'em
throw
in,
them in,
yeah.
but
things downshift a lot once they start crossing the country.
yeah, they have that huge horde coming out of the ground, and that's kind of the biggest infected moment in the series,
Which is fine by me. I
No,
don't want The Walking Dead.
I know, but
yeah.
I thought that HBO was gonna ball out on like heavy action sequences.
There was like
because
one clicker scene. Like it was like I felt like there could have been a lot more.
Because the game is a lot of fighting zombies.
A lot of it is who they entrusted with adapting. Craig Mazin isn't he's not coming from that world necessarily.
But I'm glad that there wasn't someone telling Craig Mazin you have to.
Yeah,
put this
you
in
have
the
to.
show.
We have to have like a clicker count.
Well, that's
here for these episodes.
That's that classic Max culture. That we all love.
Yeah, David. Thanks, David Zaslav.
Yes, thank you. Our king. No, I think you're 100% right. That it's just like, that's what makes the show special is that I didn't watch the show that everybody loves, the last big apocalypse show that you guys both went head over heels for. Station 11.
Please watch it.
I know I need to. But I think that this show and that show, from what I saw, the couple episodes that I watched, get right, is that the end of the world isn't interesting. How you come out of the end of the world is what's interesting.
Yeah.
How like life and love finds a way whenever everything else is crumbling. That is what matters.
Bro watched a couple episodes of Station 11.
I
Has
said I'm
no
good.
idea.
And simply put it
said I'm
down.
Has no clue.
Yeah.
Has no clue.
I
Like
said I'm good. I think Landon Norris might make P2 in this week.
all right, so Last of Us, great pick.
You get 2 picks.
I get 2 picks here. I know what one of them is, just because I want to talk about it.
If you draft golf, I'm going to be so mad.
Barry, the final season 4.
Okay, we haven't had a chance to talk about this.
Very
yet.
low key season. I feel like a lot of people didn't watch it because season 3 really took things in a lot of different directions from where the show started out, and season 4 doubles down on them. So it ends up being like a very removed, abstract version of what the show started out as. And I think that's just what Bill Hader is interested in. He directed every episode of this season, and he wasn't interested in telling a conventional story. He wanted to subvert and, tip on its side and show things that maybe you've seen before, but not in the same way. We've seen shows about crime and hitmen and Hollywood and all these things, but we've never seen them quite like this. There's a very specific shot in, maybe it's not the last episode, but maybe it's like the second to last episode or something like that, where Barry wakes up in a hotel room and Sally's not there. Like they fall asleep and then he wakes up and she's not there. We've seen that scene so many times. How many times have you seen a scene where like 2 people fall asleep and then the woman is gone or the man is gone and leaves the other one behind, wondering where they went? The way that scene is shot, I've never seen it like that. It's so simple. It's so simple and it's so lean, and it just focuses on the feeling and the journey of these characters, and it positions what you're seeing in a way that doesn't linger on the plot, but it lingers on the feeling, what the characters are experiencing. That's everything that this season is about. We've seen this type of thing before, but we've never seen it quite like this. And it's very dark. It's very violent. It's very visceral. But
the fact that this is going to be running in Best Comedy
well,
is
that's what I was about to say.
insane.
It doesn't
It's
forget.
deranged.
It doesn't forget that it's a comedy. Even when it gives you the dark moments, the violent moments, it does it in a way where it's ridiculous. There are lots of laughs.
I'd say that as the season goes on, the laughs become sparser and sparser.
Yeah.
And I think in the last 3 episodes, I don't think that there was any laughing that was
But
happening.
the entire final sequence is a joke. The flash forward to the movie.
I was gonna say I don't.
Yeah,
So-
slow your roll.
I don't want to get into spoilers because I know that some people haven't watched it yet.
Whoops.
But I think lean is one word for it. I think it. If anything, I might call the season like a little bit malnourished. I think that it's.
Oh, it needed more. you
I think
Okay.
This season kind of feels a little bit like Bill Hader is tired of Barry and wants to move on to something else.
Sure. No,
There's
I can't argue
a
with
little
that.
bit of a dead sprint to the finish in the last
Yeah.
4 episodes where it's like, oh, okay, we're doing this now. So we're going to like set up this. Oh, no, we're moving on to the next. Oh, we're wrapping this whole thing up right now. It's a lot kind of thrown at you at the end, and there's still some incredible character moments in there. There's some unbelievable character moments in there because there's unbelievable actors in this show. And that's one thing that Bill Hader as an actor understands is sometimes the best thing that you can do is to just fucking hold a camera on people and just let them act.
Dude,
And
Henry Winkler.
It's so good. I mean,
amazing.
Every scene with Sally, she has a whole arc with our girl who made I will spoil one cameo that's in this season, so Drew, plug your ears if you want to. Sean Heder is in an episode.
He gave me no time.
Oh, the director of Coda.
The director of Coda.
Yes.
I saw that.
That was really
so
funny.
Fucking funny. Like,
I can't believe she did that.
it's so good. That's definitely like Bill calling in a
Academy
favor.
Award winner.
Bill
Sean
calling in a
Heder.
favor. It's just like Sean Heder is just like, yeah, I'm making this superhero movie because people are going to watch this movie and they're going to say, wow, the director of Coda made Supergirl. It's really, really good. And like
Chloe Zhao in shambles.
Literally.
there's some moments in this show that are great, but overall, if we're saying like Succession and how that closed was like a 9.5, this left me at about like a 7.58, which isn't to say it wasn't still an incredible season of TV. It still might be probably is going to be on my top 10 of the year just because I love this show. But I think there was a little bit about this that did leave me cold. Part of that could be intentional.
I think it is very intentional.
But part of it is it feels a little bit like a dead sprint to the finish.
No, I can't argue with that too much. I just think that the alternative may have been worse. I think if they
Another
would have
season?
stretched it out, I don't
Well,
see
how
how
about
there's
10
enough
episodes instead
there.
of 8?
Sure. But I think that Bill was really trying to do exactly what he wanted. And I love it when creators get to do exactly what they want. This felt like he didn't get any notes. And they're like, you can do whatever you want. And he did. And he wrapped the story up in such a dark way and still found some kind of beauty in there, some kind of humanity in there that didn't stray far from the core idea of the story of this guy that's seeking redemption and seeking to atone for his sins and all the people that he leaves behind in his wake. I thought it was perfect. So that's Barry. That's my first pick of this round. I get a second pick.
I'm quaking right now.
I could go a couple ways here. I could talk about
So you have 2 shows now.
Yeah. I could talk about the power of
The dog.
The dog.
the Flash. That's what I could talk about.
Oh.
I could.
Please don't take that. Please.
Oh, man.
I could dive into the abhorrent use of de-aging and AI, not even de-aging, just AI resurrection.
I know.
Resurrection of man who killed himself.
It's so disrespectful to do that to Ben
And more.
Affleck.
I could dial into Destiny. I could do that.
Ugh.
Do it.
You got Ernie. I'm just saying, don't let it get.
I could step into
Don't
some Air
let it get to
Jordans.
me.
But I think I gotta take Asteroid City.
Nice,
I'm gonna do it.
great call.
Amazing movie. Still thinking about it. Want to see it again. Has been getting way more negative reviews than I expected.
Baffling.
A lot of people are not jiving with this movie. It looks like this is the 100 gecs for a lot of people that are just not getting it.
Well, now you're just reversing
but
the same
see-
analogy you made earlier.
Yeah, there was.
But
Everything is actually the 100 gecs for somebody else because people don't like everything.
exactly. Well, especially Wes Anderson.
You're just saying that some people don't like this.
I don't know, broccoli's
Subjectivity.
kind of my 100 gags.
No, I think that French Dispatch is closer to that, where French Dispatch is almost like we want to become as like twee as possible and just like really embrace the most Wes Anderson-y Wes Anderson-ness. This is has emotionality to it, which Wes hasn't done in a while.
Yeah, but it's also covered up in layers of his thing, his shtick,
Yeah.
his dryness,
Sure.
his unemotional delivery of
Whiteness.
dialogue. Yeah.
The caucasity.
Hey, don't do Jeffrey Wright like that.
Yeah, Jeffrey Wright's. There's one.
This
Bro, Jeffrey Wright is in this shit. You can't.
he gets one of the
This
best
movie's
scenes.
Invited to the Cookout, bro. It's got Jeffrey Wright in it and 900 white people.
he gets one of the best scenes in the movie, where he just gives this monologue about his life as an army man. I think this is one of those movies that is going to require time to watch multiple times, to think about, to unpack, to discuss. I think there's a lot in here. I think that Wes is trying to say a lot about how people view his own art.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And he's also saying a lot about how people should view the world and how open they should be to new things in the world that don't necessarily have anything to do with his own movies. But it's kind of those two main ideas that resonated with me the most. I think it's a lot of just like, okay, here's what everyone has been saying about my own stuff and why I want to double down on it. And here's also why I think that it's good for people to challenge themselves, to see new things, to experience new things, to accept different things into their worldview. And I've heard lots of other interpretations of what this movie is about. Everyone's bringing something different to the table with this movie. And so I think that it's going to be one of those where like over the next few months and you know, even into next year and beyond, people are going to keep digging into this movie because I think he managed to pack a lot into it. It's fucking fantastic.
I fucking love this movie. This is like vying for like my top 3-4 movies of the year. I adore everything that this movie is trying to do and successfully does, especially the third act is I think the third act is what turns a lot of people away, but that is when this movie like locked into places like, is this a top 3 Wes Anderson movie for me?
Yeah.
And I have it at, I think 4 or 5 of my rankings right now with room to grow because I really love this movie. You mentioned some of the themes that were profound for you. I really think one of the things that really struck me about this movie is like finding purpose, finding meaning, and
Shout
just
out to
like,
the bear.
what are we all here for? What is my motivation for this? Like, why would I do this? This doesn't feel like me. A lot of it's about grief. Like there's a whole reading to this on like what you're watching. Is it actually real? Is this all just kind of masking to cover up some deep trauma and grief
and also just good old-fashioned existentialism?
Yeah, there's that.
What's the point?
And also, this is like one of the best looking movies I've ever seen in my entire life, like happening at the same time. The production design is so gorgeous. The sets that they built are like, it's so beautiful, and it's taking the Wes Anderson style and the Wes Anderson look. And I think that I'm more like kind of, I don't know. I feel like the AI-ification of like, this is what thing. I made a Wes Anderson movie on fucking ChatGPT, and here's what it looks like. That's just completely missing the point. It's just like, I learned how to make frame looks symmetrical. So therefore I make Wes Anderson movies. This is taking away like one of the aspects of that though, which is the dollhouseification. And
Tom Cruise and Wes Anderson should link up.
Oh my God.
Against AI.
We were talking shit about, we were talking the other Tom Hanks. I was talking some mad shit about Tom Hanks last year. Because I didn't know what the fuck Tom Hanks was doing, but he's back in this movie.
I did think his role is like, there's way too many people in this movie.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's only every famous person who's ever existed. As long as they're white.
I'm like, Tom Hanks has like 2 scenes in this movie. I'm like,
he's great in this.
I know, but I'm just like, I'm left with like wanting a little bit more, you know?
I feel that way about most people in this movie. It's ScarJo and Jason Schwartzman are at the center of this, and unbelievable, doing some of the best work in the last like 10 years for them. But no, I felt that way like about Maya Hawke is excellent in this movie. I'm like, God, give me more scenes of teacher Maya Hawke. She's so good. I really love this movie. I think I'm gonna see it again in the next let's
do a spoiler ep. Yeah. We'll do a whole ep once Drew sees it.
I'll give it a go.
Drew, are you Wes Anderson? Where are you guys at on Wes Anderson?
I really like Wes Anderson, but I did think that his best work was behind him, so I'm happy to hear this because I didn't think that he had another like true banger in him, to be honest.
I think it's a banger.
I was just having this conversation with you the other day in the car, and can you name another live action director that has a more distinct visual style?
Yeah, where you see one frame.
I would say I want a friend of the pod, Colin. I bet he'll have a good answer to this.
You'll say like David Lynch.
Well, there's the like gods of old, like the Spielberg childlike stare, like things like that are like kind of
like where it's just like the whole career. Even the animated movies look the same. It's crazy.
I'd say Hitchcock. I mean, that's obviously one of like his
Maybe
like
Quentin.
gods. Yeah, Quentin.
Yeah, I was gonna say in terms of modern filmmakers, probably Quentin, but
PTA has a distinct
Could-
style that you can watch and tell, but not frame.
No,
in the
because
same way
guys,
Wes Anderson does.
with both of those cases, though, if you showed like 2 PTA movies to like your average person, they'd be like, those just look like 2 movies.
Yeah, I think
like
it's
your average person
Hitchcock
would be like, oh,
and
those look like Wes Anderson movies. Like
Hitchcock and Wes Anderson, I think, are the ones that, because both of them have the like, we are going to frame things in the most noticeable way possible. The camera is a character in the story.
Musker and Clements, the animators behind
Okay. Yeah.
the Disney Renaissance.
Is it because they're animated?
Asteroid City is my second pick. Drew, you're up.
Be careful.
what are you
Ernie,
fucking
how are we
threatening
doing
me
on
over there?
We had an hour.
You took Last of Us from me, so
This guy has one fog of, what does that say?
Fog of
Fog of
hostility.
hostility. Shout out to Tactical Brewing.
Damn, you guys getting hostile. I'm gonna take Beau is Afraid.
Nice.
Really, it's a movie I gave 5 stars
mids.
after watching it.
It's
I think it's perfection. I loved it so much. A lot of really fair critiques that people have for it, I don't give a fuck about.
Look at him go.
It's just it's a phenomenal movie. It captures a feeling way better than most movies do. Like it's it's one of those movies that's like about a specific feeling. It's almost in the same way that like
Of just needing to nut.
Yep.
That's that feeling.
It almost reminds me how 8th Grade is one of my favorite movies ever because it really captures like youthful anxiety just like in its purest form. This movie is like paranoid terror in its like truest sense, like just front to back. The entire like the mechanism of logic in the movie is paranoia. Like that's the whole way everything works. It's so good. And on top of that, I think it has like 4 of like my favorite performances of the year in it.
Yeah.
Nathan Lane, Cook. Obviously Joaquin. Patty LuPone is a
fucking
goddess.
queen.
And Joaquin's just like out of his mind great in this. He was born to play a guy who wants to come this fucking bad.
We decided it was a top 3 Joaquin. It's like a Mount Rushmore Joaquin performance on the episode. It is. You haven't seen Beau is Afraid, right? It's 3 hours long, which is why no one saw it.
I've seen one movie this year to preface this.
Okay. Was it? Did you dial into Destiny? Was that what it was? So
I watched my first movie this year on Friday, and you will never guess what it is. It's actually very prototypical of me, actually.
Okay, I hope that you draft it so you can.
I will not. Actually, it was good.
Okay.
I won't.
All right.
Watch Air, Danny.
Yeah, you should watch Air.
It's about the birth of Jordan.
Yeah.
Oh
You're
no,
gonna watch
that's
it. Be like,
that's
oh no,
actually
D
in my
Wade was
list.
better.
You would love Air.
Yeah.
D Wade was better. No, Beau is Afraid is incredible. I'm mad that I missed the chance to see it a second time in theaters
Oh, that shit left theater so quick.
because
No one saw
it is a
it.
massive bomb. I don't know what A24 was thinking, but also I love A24 for just being like, Ari, here's a blank check, buddy.
We're gonna ball out on
Make
you.
your weird movie instead of going to therapy, I guess. Like, I don't know, my guy. Just
It's not
you do you.
for kids.
It's not. It's a fucked movie.
It's not for anyone. It's so depraved.
It's like
It's just like upsetting.
I really can't wait for this movie to come out. I hope that A24, I have a fucking beautiful box set that they put together for Midsommar, and I really hope that they do a similar thing for Beau is Afraid.
I thought you were about to say I have a beautiful new like cock monster in my attic.
I have a beautiful set of blue balls right now. You should see them. They're fucking gorgeous right now.
Take a look at them.
I'm in love with this movie. It's so nuts. It truly, I don't know. I've never seen like dream, like the way that my dream logic works portrayed so accurate. Where like when I have nightmares, it's a series of vignettes that are all loosely related in theme, and like there's some amount of plot connecting them, but like not really.
Not really.
Yeah, like you really jump to a whole different fucking thing. You know, like the middle of the night dream is like barely related to the beginning of the night dream, and this movie is such distinctive.
It's like
dreams.
5 nightmares.
That's what I mean. Is I can't wait for this movie to come out because I just want to rewatch chunks of this movie. Like there's parts where I'm just like, man, I just want to watch
beginning.
I want to watch the middle
30 minutes.
third. Yeah, the first third of it, which is just like the most manic shit that you will ever see in your entire life, and like horrifying in a way totally different from the final act, which is like also horrifying, but in like I want to hide into myself kind of way. One of the best needle drops ever
Mariah Carey.
in a movie. Mariah Carey needle drop
Always Be
happens
My
in this.
Baby.
That is so fucking good. It's so
when Joaquin gets nominated for Napoleon, we'll know it's really for Beau.
Yeah, it's for Beau.
When he gets nominated for Roosevelt.
But he's not. He doesn't play Roosevelt.
No, he's
Roosevelt.
not. He plays fucking like
Like
Googling-
Frankie Roosevelt.
Googling Teddy Roosevelt cabinet member.
Teddy Roosevelt friends? Question mark. Horace Dickinson.
Okay. You're up.
Oh, I'm up. I really like where I'm at because I'm gonna. I now have to think strategically here based on Danny being up.
What
next.
am I going to steal from you?
Well, that's the
You
thing.
already
is that
took 100 guesses.
I have something in my back pocket that I know, as you just said, you have not seen any movies, so I know that like I can save this one a little bit.
Except for one.
So
I've
you
seen
did see
one.
one movie.
Wait, was it John
So-
Wick?
No.
Does that mean that I have to take the Mario movie now, or like do I have to? Fucking shit.
Chris Pratt.
Peaches. I'm gonna go and take Cracker Island by Gorillaz.
There you go.
This
That
is
was on my list.
Y'all laughed at me.
This is probably my third favorite album of the year. It's in my top 3. It kind of fluctuates around. This album is so fucking good, man. It's so good. Like you mentioned, at kind of the beginning of the year, a good third of it had already been released via singles, and those singles are all very good, and the rest of the album is also very good. I think Silent Running is one of my songs of the year so far. So fucking good. That and Skinny Ape, I think, are my two
love
favorites.
Skinny Ape.
Ape bangs.
Two favorites on the album.
That goes hard at the club.
Yeah.
I love that shit so much. We got my fucking queen, my goddess Stevie Nicks up in here.
Yeah,
And Oil.
Oil. That song is so good,
Oh
too.
my
El-
god.
It's El Bonito Blanco.
I'm gonna be honest. So Gorillaz, one of my favorite like artists of all time.
Yeah.
Fucking love Gorillaz. To be honest, I'd forgotten about Damon. I was kind of just like Damon is. I think it's a little bit past him.
He's
I
still
think
got
that
it.
he's
Blur's coming out with some new shit.
I'm just saying, like, I didn't even really give Song Machine a chance. The Now is
Song Machine was good, and Now was
it's
what?
pretty good. I'd say it's pretty good. It's not great.
I think this album is not far from those albums, and I was high on those albums.
It's more listenable.
I think that this is easily the best thing since Plastic
It's very
Beach.
different. It's
I
very
think it is-
different.
Yeah, this is
I
like a
think that
very
this is
poppy,
like-
fun album.
I'd say that this is just a firmly number 3 on the Gorillaz rankings right now.
Sure.
It is for me personally because I like it when Gorillaz are being fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's got so much hip hop influence on here. Of course, we got some Bad Bunny.
I mean, throwing Tame Impala and Thundercat on songs, you can't go
Fucking,
wrong.
Like, it's just incredible.
Tormenta.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I love this shit.
Yeah, no, it's a great album. I completely agree with you. It was on my short list of like top 6 things I wanted to get today. It was there. So
I just realized
Welcome.
I don't have my albums list ranked. So I have this near the top, but
I have
it's
it tiers.
chronological.
I see.
So I haven't gone through and done the work of ranking shit.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can do this live. You're up.
You
Danny.
should live narrate this. Actually, let's pause.
Danny,
Drafting.
what is
so that
going?
you can
What
just-
is this?
Topo Chico? You haven't had those?
No, that's a Michelob Ultra,
Mick Ultra
something.
spicy pineapple.
Whoa. All right, you got to give us the review.
You can get something else.
I mean, am I about to get a little crazy?
Spicy.
Oh my god, is there only 80 calories in that thing?
Damn. I feel
You're practically like
so-
losing weight by drinking it.
I feel Latino for real drinking that Mick Ultra.
You got 2 picks, Danny.
Okay. All right.
Fast X.
Was that the one movie you saw this year?
No.
It was
So
Guardians?
the one movie I saw, and I feel like you're gonna laugh at me. I saw the Odessa movie. Like,
The fuck?
yeah.
What is
a
the-
movie that I
Yeah.
didn't know came out because it was a Saturday
okay,
night? And
so
I'm like,
look,
what am I gonna go see?
Listen,
Dude,
Mi-
you got-
Mi- Mitzel-
Odessa
okay,
has
hold
a
on,
movie.
Are
hold
you
on.
not a John Wick guy?
Stop. Mitzel wanted to watch it, and I was like, you know what? I'll go and I'll support her. And it was actually really good. It actually was because like
I guess I'll check it out.
No,
You know,
'cause,
for her,
like-
I'll go watch it.
because like
yeah.
I like them, but I feel like it's really hard to respect. Like
What's it called?
it's I don't know it's like
Well,
the-
is it like a concert
it's like
documentary?
it's a documentary about their like new tour and new album,
yeah.
and it's like
How do you spell
It's a
Odessa?
publicity. It's a publicity. album.
Odessa, and the I went into it because like it's really hard for me to like respect like DJs, like it is like if I'm being honest. But then like when they showed everything they did, I was like, you know what, I get it. And then they talked a little bit about their background.
The Last Goodbye cinematic experience.
Yeah.
It's on Letterboxd.
Yeah,
It's actually named after the Robert Altman film, The Long Goodbye.
Wow.
Are you about to find Danny's burner in those reviews?
Hold on a second.
no, it was good. It was
It
a really
looks like-
good movie. I liked it
It looks like only 220 people have logged it.
because it was only out on Friday and it's going to be out again on Wednesday, and that's it.
What the hell?
Yeah.
It doesn't have enough ratings to have an average.
So that's
Yeah.
that's what you're drafting here.
No, I'm not drafting it.
Damn it!
That's
That
why
was
you're
my
drafting
No,
next
I'm
both
just
of
pick.
your
saying that's the
slots?
only movie I watched.
you stole
But I
it
am
from me.
saying I did enjoy it as someone who's a firm believer in DJs don't deserve a lot of money. Like I enjoyed it. I
You
did.
believe in
Wait.
2 things: don't pay writers or DJs.
Hold on a sec.
You're a big
Hold on a
studio.
second. Hold on a second. The top review on Letterboxd right now.
Oh, no.
Do not tell me that this is not Danny's burner account. Right here. The name of this person is the film Wook.
all right. I'm listening.
This is the review.
Will you really, just so you don't forget, open that account in a new tab?
Just to see the top 4. Okay.
I feel like we could do a whole episode.
So this is the review.
That's how we need to pivot this podcast, just looking at other people's letterbox reviews.
Hold on. Let me read this review. This puts you in a state of trance that only artists like Odessa are able to do. When all the pieces are there, they can combine for an out-of-body experience that transcends what you think musicians and their music are ever capable of
So-
achieving.
No.
If you ever go
that
to your
person
local-
just did acid
Yeah,
and
okay,
does a
if-
show.
no,
Okay, like
that's
let's
a-
relax.
At your local fucking show, that's a guy who dropped acid at your local AMC theaters. Okay, like he just like if you are ever going to go buy popcorn and you just see a guy who's just fucking zooted out of his mind, it's because he just left the.
Yeah.
I'm halfway down.
He's like,
he's not
I had
going.
never heard of this of Odessa before, but
Stumbled up in here and
Combine that with a sick LED drum line, beautiful vocals, visuals to transport, and pyro to blast off.
facts.
And have the fucking time of your life. I love the bounds of music. They are practically limitless.
That's the only review on Letterboxd.
The top. That's the most
How many-
popular.
how many
how many?
legs?
How many?
10.
Okay, like I said,
Hey, shout out to the film book. That's a fire review, dude.
yeah, the
That's
film
facts.
looks.
Damn.
Give
yeah.
me the top
Facts.
4 really quick.
Of the film book.
Yeah,
Yeah, what's the
I
top 4?
can't wait.
Number 1, Odessa, The Last Goodbye.
All right. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Wow.
Hey, look at you.
We got a lot in common. Beau's afraid.
Mandy, the Nicolas Cage picture.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Ponyo.
So he likes lights. He likes as bright and colorful images as possible.
Ponyo, the Studio
Yeah,
Ghibli.
yeah.
And something called The Great Silence.
Wow.
1968.
Fucking woke.
This guy's
Damn.
like 74. Fucking pops mollies for every TV and movie he watches. Like No, but for real, it actually was pretty good. I wouldn't say it was like, it'll blow your fucking balls off. It's so cinematic. Like, no, it was good. It was a good movie.
Happy for the film look.
Yeah.
What's your pick?
All right.
Jesus Christ.
Just remember, I had
Danny comes on and we are having 3.5 hour episodes of this podcast. It's
I didn't
completely
cause
unhinged.
that.
I don't.
You were like,
I don't think Danny wants them to be this long.
I don't know. I think you come in here with a plan.
Okay, first of all, I was like, I got 12 high noons, and you're like, is that enough? Is that enough?
Listen, I'm
Do
just
you know how much I fucking drink, dude?
I'm just trying to make a good product is all that I'm trying to do here, okay? I'm trying to make what is best for our listeners.
So I did have Last of Us on my list, so you took that from me, you dirty pig.
Let's go.
This might piss off maybe Hunter. Paramore, This Is Why.
I had that on my fucking list, dude. That's a great
It's not
fucking
going to piss
album.
me off.
It isn't. Wow. This is their best album. This
Wow,
is
let's
their
go.
best album. This is their best
great
album.
take. This is a great take.
Don't know about that one, Chief.
This is their best album. No. Because their first album, yeah, it bangs. It does. But it's got singles. It's got like a couple good songs. And then like a lot of it's kind of forgettable. This album, I think it really sets them into that like Strokes atmosphere.
Yeah.
It gets them into, we're not just emo. We can
High quality, like alt rock.
yeah, we can do the whole thing. And the drumming is sick. I think Figure 8 is like my favorite song on that entire album. The drumming is so sick on that song.
C'est Comme Ça also.
Yeah, C'est Comme Ça is really good too. I mean, This Is Why, the leading single, is awesome.
Yeah.
Way too fucking catchy. Yeah.
That is a great
is
album.
why I don't leave the house.
And her performing, I watched her for the first time at Bonnaroo. And because she had come to Florida, but I always had something going on, or she only went to Tampa, and I was like 16.
Solo?
Well, she would go, I don't remember, but it would be like
No,
in an
band.
arena in like Tampa. And by the time she came down to South Florida, I was already in college and I couldn't afford that shit. But like, this is my first time seeing her and she blew me the fuck away.
Hell yeah.
She is like one more album away from being a headliner at all your favorite festivals.
Wow, let's
She
go.
was legendary.
I mean,
really
I think
good.
that she's on. I think that Paramore is kind of at that level for a lot of smaller
The
festivals.
crowd was like so dense. Like
Nice.
there wasn't any space for anything. Luckily, we were in VIP. I don't want to brag.
Okay, all right. Okay. Wrap it. Cut this guy's fucking.
You're
mic.
that guy. You're the guy at the festival that I look over at and I'm like, man, fuck that guy. He's not.
He doesn't even fucking listen.
I'm
to
like
music.
drenched in some guy's sweat behind me.
Yeah, but luckily we were there. We were dancing like crazy. It was so much fun. I was so excited. Mitchell was talking him up like crazy, and I had the time of my life. This album is so good.
It's so good.
It's a really good album. Saying it's the best Paramore album is fucking insane.
No way.
I think this is on par with their 2017 album, After Laughter, an album
No
that
way.
I fucking love.
This is
Have you
way
listened?
better.
Dude,
This
that
is
album
way
is
better.
like taking so much of the 80s sound, this 80s pop sound, and putting it into at the time 2017, like bring it in this new level that I love that album. Saying Anything is better than like Riot is fucking insane to me.
No.
Riot is like one of the most iconic pop punk albums.
It
of the
is, but for me,
2000s.
there's like maybe 4 or 5 good songs on there. But this album to me is like I can't skip any songs. I can't skip
it's really
anything.
well made.
It's
the
a good
production,
album.
the
It's a
production
really good
quality
album.
is up there. I love her lyricism.
Yeah.
Like there are some songs on here where if you listen to the lyrics, it's about the pandemic. It's about like being locked in your home during quarantine 2020.
Do you think
Is it
that's
a
what
little
she's
bit-
saying when she says, "This is why I don't leave the house"?
Yeah, it's
Well,
almost like it's
Yo, mind fucking blown. Shout out to Filmwork.
It's
man.
It's
It's
not
almost
even-
like when she's talking about big man, little dignity. She's talking about freaking Donald Trump. over
exactly,
here.
exactly.
I don't think that that's a secret or
I
anything.
mean,
I think that
yes.
it's kind of on the nose,
The-
which is one
the
thing
song-
that is I butt my head
She-
again. It's
she
solo
got,
on
like,
this
I
album.
think
Yeah, but she doesn't say. She never says the word like pandemic or
think you have to.
quarantine.
I don't.
her-
I didn't find it as like deep or anything. I don't. That's one thing. The lyricism is one thing that kind of bugged me on this
I'm not
album.
saying it's deep.
It's
I'm
not
saying
trying
is
to
that
be deep though. Like
yeah,
it's not.
like it's an album that gets catchy, and then if you pay attention to the lyrics, they're about something.
and you can relate to it,
Yeah.
you know, at a certain point. And also, shout out to her. She got so many signatures against the anti-abortion, like getting rid of.
Yeah,
like,
shout out to Maxwell Frost.
Shout out to her and Max. But this album bangs. I was so happy with it. I really had really low expectations.
Yeah, same.
Until I listened to it.
Bands like this usually, I'll speak for myself, usually never get it back. And this is a new sound and they did it well. And like they made a new sound that is interesting enough for me to want to listen to. That's really weird for me. I'm not one to get into most of pop punk revivals. Like I'm not naming any names, Hunter. Stop.
And what's your next pick?
Rhymes with ball out foil.
We need to talk about this on the podcast because we got into it in the group chat. We have to talk about
I have thoughts. I do.
Well, let's just do a reading of the group chat.
We'll get to it. It might get drafted.
That's what I'm saying.
It might get drafted. I don't know how this draft is going to shake out. It's not one of my top picks of the year.
Oh, now he says
no, it's not. It's not one of my top picks of the year.
Stop.
Paramore
Wow.
isn't either.
When
I have Paramore and Fall Out Boy
stop.
literally right next to each other in my best albums of the year list. Right next to each other.
When I brought up that I didn't like it, you scoffed and then said,
because you aren't a real
this is a
fan.
near perfect album.
He literally did say that though, didn't he?
He
I'm
did.
gonna pull it up.
Check the receipts. I didn't say. I
You
said
this is
it's
a
not
new-
great, but I liked it a lot.
He's like, are you guys kidding me?
I'm gonna scroll back. I'm gonna check these fucking receipts.
He's gonna delete them. I gotta find them.
Okay,
first.
hold on. Before we continue this conversation, are you going to bring it up? Because we can talk about it then, or we can like hash it out now.
I said that you guys are ableist and you hate the elderly.
I am the elderly, so
Well, obviously not.
Okay, so I said, okay, here's how it started. I posted a screenshot.
I said, is it perfect? No, but it's objectively great pop album. It is an objectively great pop punk album.
you said perfect.
I did not. I said an objectively great pop punk album. And I do. I think it's a great pop punk album.
It's not punk.
It is. Have you listened to the fucking album? There's punk all over it.
The lead single is punk, like pop punk.
The Heartbreak Feels So Good is fucking punk.
It was like
Kintsugi
my
Kid
hopes.
is punk.
My hopes were up here. Heartbreak Feels So Good. I was like, hey, not bad. I listened to the rest of the album. Dreams out the
Heaven,
window,
Iowa, fucking gorgeous, beautiful song.
dude. Tell me he's not saying this is the best album of all time.
Well, he did. Okay, the message does say, is it perfect? No. So at least he didn't say that.
Yeah.
But he did say it's
Bitch,
objectively
twisted my
a
words.
great pop punk
But
album.
that's
And
the
I do.
only way you defend anything. You have to be like, is it the best? No.
So much for Stardust.
It is the second best.
So much for Stardust is an incredible song. You want to talk about like how like, oh my God, it's really like catchy, but if you listen to the lyricism, it's kind of like fucking deep, dude. What a Time to Be Alive is actually about how it's like not fucking such a great time to be alive. That song is crazy, crazy catchy. I think there are
this is your
skippable
fourth
songs
pick?
in this. No, it's not.
There are songs that
Hold Me Like a Grudge, fucking banger. Are you kidding me?
I have
Fake
to
Out,
skip-
fucking
I
banger.
know,
I have a playlist, and I have to skip
I
every song on
aggressively
this album.
skipped when I listened
they're
to
just
it like the
because
second
there
time.
are songs that I would call passable, like that, like I wouldn't turn off. And then because I really gave them a couple of listens, and they're
Well, the singles are great.
just for me, I'd say there are a lot of songs on the album where I'm like, I really don't want to be hearing
was
this
so
right now.
excited,
Like the
Ernest.
sound of it is not. There's nothing for me to really grab on.
Would you-
It's not really describable.
Let me
music.
ask you this, Danny, because Drew only listens to Pavement because it gives him clout with ladies.
That was the meanest
Danny.
thing. That was the meanest thing you've ever said to me in my whole fucking
You know
life.
it's
And then he
fucking
got a
true.
hole in one.
Because you know it's fucking true.
Immediately
He said that
after
to psych
saying
me out on the range.
It's like, bitch only listens to Pavement for clout.
Okay, what?
Would you give the album more of a chance if the band that made it was not Fall Out Boy? Do you
No.
think that
No.
it's the band
No,
Fall Out
I
Boy
can't-
that is
worse.
I
requiring
gave it a chance because it was Fall Out Boy. Fall Out Boy
I
is
don't-
so near and dear
I
to
don't
my
think
heart.
that it would really
Think
get
that's the
any
problem.
traction if it wasn't Fall Out Boy. I don't think that like anyone would like pick it up.
This is like their Imagine Dragons era. Like this is where they've gotten. Like after
That's-
Filet Do, it just went.
I mean,
That's
I hate to say it. I don't want to
fucking
say
wrong.
it, but I'd rather listen to Centuries than like most of the songs on this album.
The opening single is perfect. It's perfect. That's like an amazing song. And then like there's like another, I forgot. There's one more song I do like. I think it is Heaven.
Danny's just trying to make.
No, I'm being serious though.
Hunter's
because I do like
Hunter's
the band.
making the Tim Robinson face when he's getting eliminated. He's like,
oh,
Are you sure? You sure about that?
it's got a little bush like that.
It's okay. You guys, history will frown upon you guys.
Wait, no.
When Fall Out Boy is getting inducted into heaven itself, and they say, we
they
peaked with so
died.
much for Stardust, and Jesus Christ himself says that, then
he's like, I didn't like you until that album.
I wanted to like it so badly. I did.
Hey,
I tried.
Heartbreak feels so good, dude.
Yeah.
That's which is still a genuinely great song.
Listen, the Pink Seashell with Ethan Hawke makes me cry.
Get out of town.
It makes me cry.
Love from the Other Side, also great. I wish the whole album would have been like that.
Kintsugi Kid is the best song on the album, and I don't think that you guys ever got that far to listen to it. But Kintsugi Kid is.
I listened to it like multiple times.
There's so many, man. The lyricism of
I've
Kintsugi
tried-
Kid as some man that
I
shit
couldn't
feels
look Drew
different
in the eyes.
as somebody.
I couldn't look him in the eyes until I listened to it and actually I was like, it's bad. No, he was right. He was right. He was right. The whole
I spent
time.
10 years in a chemical haze, and I miss the way that it felt. And guess what? That shit fucking hits different. Okay?
Paramore's lyrics aren't that deep. I have such a problem with it. I was in a chemical haze.
Oh no!
I don't think it's. I just don't think it's.
sorry.
sound.
It's okay.
I'm
Listen
sorry.
to your
I'm
fucking
sorry.
mids music, dog. You're out here
I
just like
them.
you're like
I
cool.
like
I like
them.
pretty lights and the guy who presses play on a MacBook Pro. Enjoy your shit, dog. No, that's cool.
Daniel will
Speak
only
your
like it
fucking
if there's
piece.
a documentary about it.
The moment a Fall Out Boy doc comes out, I'm gonna come in, draft it first.
Holy shit!
Okay.
I knew it was gonna get lit with Fall Out Boy, but
So you're not drafting.
I'm not
that?
drafting it. I keep saying that.
Wait,
You
no,
put me in this fucking
Danny
position.
has another pick.
You put me in this position right now.
Danny has another.
Jesus Christ. You guys bully me. Nobody shoves baby in a corner.
Hey,
What's
no,
it
that
called?
That's
that I
called
can
by
listen to.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
What's your second pick?
Jury duty.
Hey,
Nice.
We now have
Watched it.
45 seconds to talk about each of our picks from this point forward because of that.
No, jury duty was great. I think my friend David recommended it when it came out, like after a week. Like
A lot of people were on it early. It took me a second to get around to it.
Yeah, it was it scratched the Office itch that I was missing like for a long time. I really enjoyed it. It was such a great premise. There's hints of there being more. Like
It was not
similar-
with that guy, not with the same.
Obviously
Well, of
not the
course-
same
of course,
guy.
yeah, no.
But I think there's like Marsden kind of like hinted at
I don't
there
see
being
how they
more.
could do. I don't see how they could do more.
Well, it's not gonna be the same people, but I think there's like other situations that
Right.
it's
Nathan-esque.
yeah.
What did you
is
think?
Marsden just gonna like be like it? Like it
This is a
punked?
new thing.
Yeah, is he gonna be the Nathan Fielder of jury duty?
Oh, it sucked. What did you think of like the experience of seeing this guy like go through this? Because I found it a little icky.
I was uncomfortable at times
Yeah.
for sure, but I think it was funny. I felt like he should have figured it out like a long time ago, like before. Like once the chair pants happened, I felt like he should have been like, "This doesn't happen. This does not happen." You know?
He's too nice,
Yeah, he is too nice, and
which made for a great show.
They
Yeah.
really got to get some for the next season. This is just a quick note for them. Get someone older because it's really easy to trick old people.
But that would make for a worse show, maybe.
or anybody Nathan finds, 66, 88,
Yeah.
Crash My Scion TC.
Yep. Going 100.
Yeah, it was an excellent show. I loved it. Scratch the Office itch. I liked that. I just thought it was a good, fun watch. You know, shout out to Freevee. You know,
Yeah.
It's our favorite.
but that is my fourth pick.
Hunter, what you got? And it can't be Fall Out Boy. He's still
I'm
angry.
definitely not going to take Fall Out Boy now because I already fucking talked about it. I took Past Lives. Drew, what's your pick?
Hunter, you got to talk about Past Lives.
No, it's cool. In a past life, you guys weren't fucking mean to me, okay?
I'm not trying to be mean. I told you.
In a past life, you guys have good taste, okay?
I like the band.
I'm happy that you're happy, but I'm sad that I'm sad.
We can't bully you out of taking Fall Out Boy.
We're just in a chemical haze, okay?
No, I used to be in a chemical haze. I couldn't understand anything that was around me. You know what? I fucking missed the way that felt. So Past Lives is a film that really, it premiered at Sundance. I think Ernie and I are the only ones to see it.
It's a great movie.
I think that this might be like objectively the best movie to come out this year.
More than Spider-Verse, you think so?
It's like neck and neck for me. This movie is so good. It's a movie that I truly have not stopped thinking. I've thought about Past Lives like every day since seeing this movie. Like everything that happens around me in the universe and just like watching humans interact with each other. It's just kind of one of those movies that's just, it affects the way that you think about things and the way you see things around you.
I'm really excited to see this one.
A deeply romantic movie, which we get less and less of.
Breaks my heart.
Like
the romance.
It's true. Like it is.
Oh,
romance.
it must be fucking happy ending then.
Oh
no. Well, it's not. It's not that. It's not what you think it is. I don't like, without specifically saying plot details, just describing ways that makes you feel, because also it makes you feel uplifted too. It's a movie that kind of contains multitudes, and that's one of the things that makes it special, because it's not just a movie about love and loss and everything else. It's also time. A movie about time. It's a movie that's telling an immigrant story. It is so much that is packed into this thing that it's unbelievable. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's going to be a contender for the best movie of the year.
Yeah, it's my number 2 right now.
Wow. Same.
It's up there with Spider-Man.
I thought that you were going to take this over Asteroid City, to be honest.
I almost did.
I was expecting you to take this over Asteroid City.
I should have.
But that's 2 and 3 for me, though. So it's.
Yeah, I think this is definitely better than Asteroid City. I think that the way they managed to tell this story, it feels very unique. You know, the shots of New York feel unique. The way they kind of structure the arc, the timeline of this love story is very unique. It's like if the before movies were all one movie.
Yeah.
Or maybe not the third one. As much, a little bits of it, but
it's very much, it's kind of the closest thing to a Linklater romance, though, that we've seen in like the 20th century.
They kind of managed to tell like all the major beats of all 3 of those movies in this one movie, and you don't feel like a lot of times when you have a movie that does that tells like this love story over time, it feels like you're watching actors. This doesn't really feel like that too much. It feels like you're watching real people. I never saw a scene in this movie and thought like, oh, that's just people acting and pretending. You're fully immersed. You're fully in.
Oh, you trying to be nice now? You trying to like offer a fucking peace offering or something? Or
if anyone was nice to you, it was me.
Yeah, he's right. He's right.
Think about all the people in this room.
He's gaslighting you right now. Don't let him gaslight you.
Think about all the people in this room who listened to the last Coheed album.
Who claims to be a Fall Out Boy fan?
I like Fall Out Boy. I love them.
Oh, now you just like them.
Oh my
Before the album came out, it's like Fall Out Boy was actually more important to me than my dad. Fall Out Boy is actually the most important thing.
You know who needs to weigh in on this is Brett.
Yeah.
Wait, maybe he should. Maybe it would be worse.
I don't think you would be happy with the result if Brett weighed in.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. No, it's cool. I'll take Fall Out Boy cards from everybody today. It's all right. I'm gonna see them VIP in a couple weeks, and the Magic 8 Ball show, the Magic 8 Ball songs they've been playing. It's gonna be fucking incredible.
You're gonna love it, and I'm jealous. I would love to go to that show too.
Why aren't you going?
Why aren't you going?
Because I'm going to too many fucking concerts.
July is rough.
I need to
July's
stop.
a really fucking rough
I need to
month
stop.
He's been spending his whole per diem on concerts.
Drew, what's your pick? I can't talk about Fall Out Boy anymore.
So now I don't know. We're entering like a different tier. I think my first 3 picks were just straight bangers.
I know you did great.
I know. I've watched like a quarter of the shit that you guys have watched this year. So like, what are you guys doing? You know.
So are we at like Rage Comics territory or like? Was there like a really good Ron DeSanctimonious dig that you wanted to?
I'm gonna take Threads.
Yikes.
Not for now, but like 6 months. That pick's gonna look great.
Yeah. No, I'm taking. I don't know. Can't take golf. Obviously.
Take golf.
Do you want to
You
know?
could take the U.S. Open if you wanted to take the U.S.
Do you
Open.
want to know what I sent Hunter on Saturday at 10:18 p.m.? I sent Hunter a video called "Best of Tiger Woods' Flop Shots on the PGA Tour."
Please don't draft that.
from
Just
shots
that
from
video.
like 20 years ago. Like, yo, I found this really fire
Damn,
YouTube.
he hit that shit so high, bro.
He hit so high and it goes like 10 yards.
Yeah. And also, no golf was involved in that video.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying.
You can draft Wembanyama's second game.
This
For
is
some summer league.
I don't know. I'm really alarmed at like where I'm going mentally.
Baby Gronk.
No.
Baby Gronk is
I've
still on
had
the board,
enough.
isn't he? Oh my god.
Drew just picked like 3 of the best things of the year, and then he's like, I don't know anything else.
I got nothing.
You are good.
I forgot everything but Beef Wellington. I'm like SpongeBob.
He's gonna draft Fall Out Boy at this point.
Yeah.
He has no.
Drew, you
Come
could just do
on,
it. Come on, just
Drew.
do it.
So much for Stardust. Let's go.
No.
Well, see, here's the thing: is I don't know if you guys noticed this. They did this really subtle thing where it says so much Stardust, but then the 4 is in parentheses. So it totally reframes that sentence.
The chemical haze is deep.
I'm gonna take Air. It's a really
There we go.
it's awesome.
I do want to watch that.
I've seen it twice now. It's dumb as hell.
No.
It's just like it's a perfect like maybe like 110 IQ 1993 movie.
It's
exactly.
a perfect
So,
90s movie.
yeah.
It is a perfect 90s movie.
Yeah, it's like if you're sitting at like 2 standard deviations above the normal IQ, guess what? Don't watch it, bitch. Sorry.
Is this like your way of saying this is sports slop?
Yes,
It is sports slop.
It
A
is.
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
it's like well, I would say definitely because it's in a very similar.
Was The Last Dance slop?
no, absolutely not.
Yeah,
This
The Last Dance is fucking incredible.
Okay.
That's high art.
Yeah.
I think the best way to describe this movie is it's like if Moneyball was a little dumber.
Yeah.
Like it's a little dumber.
Looser,
It's
yeah.
not quite as well directed. But it's just a really fun, like straight down the middle, tonally awesome. Like the tone that it sort of manages to maintain for I would say the entire movie. It's given you a really, really good pitch. So I like the vibe. I like
Benny
the tenor.
Affleck, Matt Damon.
Yeah. Benny did a good job directing. It's
His fits are incredible.
I
Love his
yeah.
fits. Everything that he's doing there.
I don't
He went to Avalon Exchange.
I still sort of don't think he worked as like an acting in the movie.
But he directed the shit out of it.
He's one of the weaker links, but there are great performances from just about everyone else in the movie. Matt is just he's giving pure Matt. And then you get people like that you want to see do good in movies. People that like when they're doing good in a movie, you're like, yeah, like Jason Bateman.
Dude,
When
Jason
he's, like-
Bateman's
when
one of my
he's
favorite
acting, like,
supporting performances
kills
of the
it.
year.
Yeah.
Love him.
Or
in
like
this
when you
movie.
see like Chris Tucker nowadays in a good movie, you're like, fuck yeah, Chris Tucker.
Yeah,
Like
they knew how to use
good on
Chris
you, buddy.
Tucker.
Fuck yeah, bud. Yeah, Viola's given a part where it's just like, yeah, just like be like in like 3 scenes and just be like really like quiet but like powerful.
Yeah, really only like 2 scenes, and
Yeah.
then one of them is like the scene. You know.
Yeah, where she because like in like a mechanical way, she has to carry the weight as a character that Michael Jordan should in the movie.
Right.
Because Michael Jordan is not in the movie. He's in the background. You don't see him. He doesn't have any lines.
Almost to a point where it's like, should Michael Jordan have been in this movie?
Maybe.
But
Probably.
nobody. The problem is that's so uncastable, but it almost acts against the movie because we are just like actively just showing a bald man's head.
Well, I don't
Throughout.
mind. I don't mind the fact that he's not in the movie. I mind the fact that he is in scenes where he doesn't participate in the scene. if you're not going to put him in the movie, don't put him in the scene.
Also, you can't make this movie without Michael Jordan. Like, he has to.
I know, but
be there.
they could make up an excuse. They could structure the scene so that Michael Jordan isn't part of the scene.
Yeah.
Like, they could make up some excuse like, oh, he's talking to a pretty girl down the hall.
I don't know. I kind of like that he's just always like looking at the cabinet.
He's like, that's a nice shoe.
It's like Wilson in Home Improvement.
Exactly. It's so.
Yeah, I like it. But yeah, it's just, I mean, and I didn't even get to the MVP of the entire movie, which is Chris Messina.
Yeah.
Absolute stud. Killer in this fucking movie. Breakout star. He's in a new, very highly advertised show with, I think, Kaylee Cuoco. Where like,
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
yeah, we're like,
This is a moo show. This is a show that gets put on for the dog.
Yeah,
to
where like
watch.
she hosts like a true crime podcast where she like, they're like wrapped up in some crazy story where like she's like getting the murderer involved in the podcast, and they're like, is this
based,
our life
based
right
on
now?
a true story.
Is it?
No, that's the name of the show.
Oh,
It's called Based on a True Story. I believe it is on The Cock.
they're advertising fucking mercilessly for that show.
He's a handsome dude.
He is. There aren't a ton of dudes in Hollywood right now who I think are that actor, like who plays like the prick. Sort of. It almost has to be an unknown, because if it's a known, then you're just like, let's cut back to my guy.
Yeah.
Like 2011 B Coops, or like B Coops in The Hangover. Like it's the same.
He used to be that guy.
It's the same thing where, he had to be sort of an unknown so that he could be an asshole.
Before he was Maestro.
Everyone's favorite character. So yeah, I really enjoyed Air. It's by no means a perfect movie, but it's super.
I mean,
watchable.
it's up there. I mean, this year hasn't been the strongest movie year so far. We're about to hit like the first tidal wave right here with July.
Summer, yeah.
Well, July is Mission, Oppenheimer, Barbie. Like that's about to hit us. But so far, like Air is up there for sure.
Yeah, it's a good movie, and I enjoy it. I'll take it.
All right, so I get 2 picks, and
Yeah.
this is it for me.
Yeah, and you have 10 seconds for each pick.
So my first pick is going to be my first music pick, which is the new Lil Yachty album. Let's Start Here.
Oh, you know what? You talked about liking this album, and I'm really happy it's included.
I've never been a Lil Yachty guy.
Neither have I.
And then I saw this album came out early in January.
Yeah.
And I saw people posting about it. I saw like Questlove make a post about it, which like Questlove, he'll share a lot of stuff.
He'll share good stuff though.
He also pops in to a lot of like random documentaries. That's like he definitely just shot that at 30 Rock on a
Questlove
bathroom break.
he's one of the most available for a documentary people on
He
earth.
just like
It's like in on every show on VH1 in the 2000s, the guy from Twisted Sister, with the long hair. That guy was in every single fucking one.
So you don't hold that at the highest level of recommendation, but I just saw him I read the caption that he wrote, and he was like, if you're not a Lil Yachty guy, like check this out, pretty much. Like that was like he was mind blown by it.
I saw the post too.
And I was like, all right, I'll give it a listen. And it happened to be one of those days where I was like helping out doing yard work, and I just like put in the album just front to back, just while like out there in the heat. And it blew my mind.
Yeah.
It fucking
that
blew my
opening
mind.
track just really gets you ready for what
is
you're
it?
gonna-
Black Seminole? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it kind of takes off from there, and it never really dips down for me. Like it's 14 tracks, and it's almost like this psychedelic like flight through the skies. It's incredible. I did not think he had this in there.
Do we thank Kevin Parker for this?
Yeah, absolutely.
He did breathe deeper with him.
The remix.
The remix.
Yeah.
And I think apparently he says it doesn't have anything to do with that, but
It's got nothing to do with that.
Kevin dropped a little bit of acid in his lean and got him ready for it.
Right. So a lot of this album is produced by this guy named Patrick Wimberly of a project called Chairlift.
Mac,
you know
Mac
this?
DeMarco's,
Yes.
Mac
This is a
DeMarco's
Drew-
on a
this-
few tracks.
This is a Drew band.
Chairlift.
Chairlift.
Indie like legends. Chairlift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this guy is on every single song as a producer. So I think that's a big reason why this shit is so good. Also, Lil Yachty is a writer on every single one. But yeah, I just think this is as much a hip hop album as it is a rock album. Like there's just so much rock influence on this that I can pop into certain songs and be like, okay, this is like an alt hip hop like track, but it's also just this weird psychedelic rock track at the same time, just layered on top of each other.
Is this a one-off, or do you think this is him redefining himself?
We'll see. I mean, it'll take the next one. to
Next,
see.
he's doing disco.
He's like sub-headlining with this album.
Yeah.
Like, so
I'm gonna be honest. I have to give this album another shot. There's a couple songs on here that I like. Love the Black Seminole. Love what's it called? Drive Me Crazy. There's like a couple songs on here that really, really dig. But this whole album as a whole didn't grab me.
It's really
I
good.
need to give it another shot.
If you want to jump in on specific songs, Drive Me Crazy and Paint the Sky are probably two of my favorites.
Yeah.
But I love the whole thing. I mean, honestly, between this and Paramore are my favorites of the year so far. 100 gecs is up there too. Just to shout out a few more albums. I don't know if any of these are going to get drafted, but the new M83, I really love.
Fantasy?
They're back. Yeah.
That's another one I just have to listen to more.
Unknown Mortal Orchestra also put out a new album. Caliucci's put out a new album.
Don't keep saying albums.
yeah,
Oh.
slow
These might
down.
be drafted.
Some
Yeah,
people might
Ernie.
be
Yeah, you
drafting
might
some
be-
of these.
Shit.
Fucking slow down.
I don't know what you guys
I'm
are
gonna-
drafting
You
in your
also
last
do
round.
know I think you draft Mr. Irrelevant,
I know, I do.
so you can shout this out.
but it's not
after.
going to be. It's not going to be an album.
You have enough albums.
Yachty's my only album.
But we
pick.
can talk about after like things we missed that are worth checking out.
Okay.
I'm gonna blind draft Unknown Mortal Orchestra. now.
So here's where I'm at. I'm not going to do another album for my last pick, but
This isn't
you
your
have a
last
second
pick.
to last pick. You have two picks left.
Yeah, that's
No, I don't.
4.
did I lose track?
You picked the first one.
1, 2,
You just did
3.
2, 3. This is 5 now for you
Oh, you know what messed me up?
because you're doing.
We
not doing
moved to 6.
Being
No,
wrong.
5. Oh.
Because the spreadsheet, the numbers on the spreadsheet, it counts the name row as a number. So
This
that threw me off.
this guy doesn't know shit
Fucking
about
classic.
Okay,
spreadsheets, bro.
so I have
embarrassing.
I have one last pick.
He's in a chemical haze. Give him
Bro-
a chance.
So we're way more behind on time than I thought. Okay, so I'll pick a show, and I'll go with Mrs. Davis, which I talked about last week.
yeah.
Love this
Gotta
show.
support your boy.
Yeah,
And Lindelof, you trust.
love this show. Got to grab Mrs. Davis. No one else was going to pick it, but that I'll return back to my final pick in the last round. So if you didn't hear my spiel about Mrs. Davis or 2 episodes ago, it's a Damon Lindelof show. Really wacky, really out there. You don't know where it's going.
What's
but if
it
you
on?
Stick Peacock, the cock.
Okay.
But if you stick with it, it's a great journey. It's about AI. It's about the Holy Grail.
I'm scared to try the show. I'm
Yeah.
truly
To be honest, you were more neutered on it than I was expecting. Like, if you would have said this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life, I would have gone in expecting it to
Listen
be
here.
like okay. But you were like cautiously optimistic about it, and that made it sound like it might be bad.
that means
Because that's-
IRL it's a 0.
Yeah, it's like Lindelof is automatically just like up there. That I'm
Yeah.
expecting you to lose your fucking mind over anything that he touches.
It's weird. It's a weird one,
But he's drafting it.
I think
that's good.
That's
a good
significant.
sign.
That means something to me.
That means I need to put it on my
I might
watch
check
list.
it out.
one thing that I'll mention that I didn't mention at the beginning of the podcast. One thing I said when we did this episode last year is this episode is a chance to shout out things that we really like that are probably not going to make the cut for end of the year. So last year I drafted Euphoria season 2, which I loved, but I knew it wasn't going to make the end of the year. You know, that's kind of where I'm at with Mrs. Davis is like, there are going to be things that push it out, but I want to give it this shout out right now because I loved it, even though those first couple episodes were shaky. It's going so big and so broad that it feels like it could not possibly bring all the threads together. And I felt like it did. I mean, obviously there might be people out there that disagree, but for as big of a swing as it's taken, it's this big, like, world crossing journey to find the Holy Grail with all these different plot threads around that journey. It doesn't, at a point, you're like, how is this all going to fucking click? And I felt like it did. I really felt like it did. I felt like they did the impossible and made it make sense, even though it was a shaky way to get there. Love the performances. Love the vibe of it. Like, it's just really strange, really unique, really weird.
How long is it?
It's like 8 episodes.
How long are the episodes?
They're all about like 40 to an hour.
So this is what Lindelof has been up to.
Right. Yeah, it's 8 episodes. They're all within like that 40 to 60 minute range.
It's such a weird landscape we're in right now where it's, I guess it makes sense because it's not as if Watchmen was a huge success, you know?
Right.
That, yeah, Lindelof is just up to something and like it's really not covered at all.
It's a bizarre show. There are moments where like you don't know what's going on and it doesn't make sense until multiple episodes later. You're like sitting there watching it and you're like, what the fuck is happening right now? If you give it a couple episodes, it'll make sense. At least to me. It's not abstract shit. I feel like they did a good job of making things connect. It's just the setups and the payoffs are spaced out between many episodes. And there's a lot of them. And you don't see how different characters relate to each other until further and further into the show. But one thing I didn't talk about during that episode that I'll mention now, Jesus Christ is a character in this show.
Wait, is it played by what's his name? John Cazale?
No, Jim Caviezel.
Jim Caviezel, not John Cazale. Completely different.
Jesus Christ is a character in the show, and he is a key part of the story.
I was going to say something mean, but I'm not going to do it.
And it's amazing, and he's great, and he's.
What were you going to say?
He's fine.
I can't do it. Hunter's looking at me. I can't. No, I'm not gonna.
I'm happy I have another pick
bitch.
after this.
Is Jesus Christ played by Pete Wentz?
Oh my God. Yes.
Well, and that he'd be willing to die for your fucking sins because he wouldn't die for your sins. He died for mine, but not yours. You didn't want to draft Jim Caviezel's movie?
Sound of Freedom?
Sound of
He
Freedom.
has
That'll
one
be
more
my
pick.
last pick.
He has one more
Okay,
pick.
cool.
He has one more
Yeah,
pick.
cool. Okay.
Drew. You're up.
Drew, I want to ask, can I tell you what's still on the board for you?
Please.
We have Kiwi Kwan's acceptance speech at the Oscars. That's something that you watched.
Yeah. I saw that.
Sad Bill Simmons memes. Those are on the table for us.
Yeah, during the Celtics.
I love those. Those are actually top tier.
That's kind of the tier that we're at right now. So we're
Baby Gronk is also still on the
The
board.
John Deere Classic just wrapped up.
I know. Oh, what about Michelle Wee's dramatic departure from the LPGA?
Oh my God! Yes. That's something that all of us at the table know about.
Yeah.
They were trying so hard to make her into like girl Tiger Woods, and she like just kind of like sucked at golf from what I remember.
Oh, the 2.5 hours where you asked yourself, did the Orlando Magic make a horrible mistake when Jabari Smith popped up for 37 2 nights ago?
Yeah, I honestly, I was like, damn, that guy's good. And then I was like, snap out of it. Hitting myself.
Like, I love Palo. I love long mid-range jumpers.
Should I just start taking music now since I have
go for it.
I have 4 really, really solid picks. And now it's like, can I?
You need at least one album.
I know, but
I mean, you don't need it, but
it's just like all my music that I would take right now. None of it is in any danger.
I took JPEG from you.
Yeah,
JPEG
that was that's easily my number one. And I figured I wouldn't get gecs too. And like everything after that is
there
nothing
like good season of Fortnite that came out or something like that?
Season 11 of Fortnite is so sick.
Can I take New York Times crosswords? No.
Wordle.
I do Wordle every now and then. I'm a crossword head.
I pop
bro.
into Wordle every now and then. I'll be like, I'll see like one person on Twitter post about it. I'm like, I forgot that exists.
I'm gonna bite the bullet and I'm gonna take the Lil Uzi album and
Wait, is this eligible?
Pink Tape.
When did this come out?
It came out post.
It just
June
came out
30th.
like last
Yeah.
week.
It came out on the 7th, I think.
Yeah, it came out like last week.
July 31st. Oh wait, no, that's his birthday.
That's
Sorry.
not. That is. It came out on July.
Yeah, it's
June
bad.
30th. It came out June 30th.
You're good.
It's
good.
it's under the wire.
Really?
he has
Yeah, June 30.
It's got June 30th.
It's good.
so there are only so many.
Bring Me the Horizon is on a song on this thing. What?
Yeah, he also
Shout out to Ollie Sykes.
My boy Ollie singing in 2
the
weeks.
album kind of falls apart toward like the back half of it.
when
26
Ollie
songs.
hops on the album,
It's way
and it
too
falls
long.
apart.
Yeah.
This is your 5th pick.
Yeah, man.
Falls apart.
I don't give a fuck. No, the end of the draft is when you take your swings. You
Yeah.
know, you take.
I got a swing for the end.
you know who went at the end of the draft? Fucking Jokic. That's who. This is my Jokic.
I gotta go, guys.
Lil Uzi is consistently disrespected because he's not good at lyrics, as if that's like the most important part of music. It's like maybe like the third most important part of music. Number one is the music, and he's really good at that. One particular subgenre of hip hop that he is cornered in a really cool way is like music that you would put on at like a football stadium to get the whole crowd to jump. That music is really hard to make. There are only so many songs that you do that with. Like hip hop music that makes people jump at a football stadium. It used to be like We Ain't Never Scared. Yeah, it's
never scared
yeah, that's what I'm saying though.
So
is it's
I'm
like,
outside of the club. and
Yeah.
Ludacris
come
was like,
apart.
Luda had a corner on this market for like a decade.
yeah,
Okay.
it's shit like it was shit like that. And Uzi has like multiple songs like this now because for such a long time, Money Longer was like the best new song to get people going crazy. Unbelievable beat, and now he's got the new one on this album,
Just Want to Rock.
I Just Wanna
No.
Rock,
Yeah.
They played at stadiums already. That is not easy to do, let me tell you. And his beat selection is just fucking phenomenal. Like he's really, really, really good at. He does contribute, he does produce, but like the people that he gets in the room with him know how to make a beat for him. For example, some of Metro's best beats by far are on Uzi songs. Like he produces the absolute fuck out of that guy. And that's really what the dude's good for. Like he's good for music that just absolutely fucking smacks you. Like I said, back half of the album, I don't really care about. I'm not listening to this guy's album for like all 20 whatever songs on it.
Yeah, it's like an hour and a half long. It's a meaty album. I think not including bonus tracks, it's like an hour 5.
That's a lot.
That's
a
long
lot.
for a rap
That's a
album.
lot.
Flood of the Face is just the beat. It's disgusting. It's so good. There are I would say like probably 5 or 6 songs like that where like the beat it's in like such a perfect middle ground for me where like I know exactly what he used to listen to when he was a kid, and it's exactly what I did. Like you know what I mean? Like
he was out here playing NFL Street 2.
Yeah, exactly. All of that shit. Like he
Absolute banger game.
Yeah.
there's like there are really, really direct lines to like mid 2000s like ringtone music, but this is a really, really like the depth in production that they have now compared to back then when you would just have like maybe like 3 tracks playing at once. Like literally like you'd have just like an 808 and then one synth and then a bass line. It's crazy. I don't know. Like middle school Drew would be over the moon with what this guy's been doing. Big fan.
Yes. I like it. Good pick. So it is me. My second to last pick. And I'm like, I feel like I'm reaching a point in the draft where I'm trying to figure out like, do I pick for me or do I pick for the fucking normies out there? They're going to be drafting. They're going to be voting in a poll on this thing.
the guys at the Watch Podcast that fucking roasted me last year. The Watch Podcast Facebook group.
For the halfway draft
last year when I drafted the Smile, it's like, oh, it's Radiohead's side project. King Gizzard, just a random offbeat Australian band.
People are gonna hate when
and then
He
Rocket
remembers
League.
the words.
I remember everything, dude. Fuck that Facebook group. I'm still in it, but
Damn.
fuck them.
All right.
That's actually one of the better ringer groups.
Ernie, turn on the TikTok camera. Ernie.
It is a Facebook group, so you're kind of setting yourself up there for failure.
All right, what you got here?
I'm gonna go with the deep cut here. I don't know if you guys know this or not. I'm gonna draft a season of television that I don't know if anybody else in the world has seen. It's for a show called Succession.
Nice. I should have taken this. I don't know what I was thinking.
The thing is that like I'm
Fucking Mrs.
looking
Davids.
at my deep
Fuck.
cuts here. I'm looking at my deep cuts
No,
here. I'm like,
you're on your moral high ground of like, it deserves a conversation.
yeah. But then again, we're also drafting our favorite things of the year so far. It'd be fucking idiotic to not take Succession at this point.
This is what happens every year in our fantasy football drafts, by the way. Is like
It's like
everyone's
everybody's like,
Succession goes in the
no, it's just like everyone else. Everyone else outthinks themselves, and then Hunter just takes like the obvious guy who's sitting there, and we're all like, "What the fuck?
I'm like, I think
what
I'm
were we
just
doing?"
gonna take James Conner in the 13th round. I don't know. Like it just seems like it's fine. They landed the fucking plane. We did a whole episode about this, so I don't want to like really belabor it. But I think that this show is in the pantheon for the greatest dramas ever, like just flat out ever. Might be just straight up the best acted show I've ever seen in my entire life. It's unbelievable.
Jeremy Strong. Dude. Going
I've
for it.
it is something that hasn't really faded from my mind in the last like couple months since it has left the consciousness, the pop culture ether. And I love it. It's so good. It's
You should check it out, Drew.
What's it
Little
called?
show.
Succession?
Yeah.
No.
It's so, man, it's like so expertly crafted is kind of just one of the things that I keep coming back to is like how fine tuned everything is. I think a lot of people, one of the biggest criticisms of this show, just overall, not just this season, is like, well, I don't feel anything for these characters.
Right.
And
They're
I
terrible
think that
people.
the
yeah.
emotionality, there's so much emotionality in the show, but it's not traditional emotionality. The show is a show that makes you feel, but it doesn't make you feel for the characters.
Right.
And I think that is something that is such a brain reset that a lot of people who do kind of repel against the show a little bit. That's one of the biggest things they run into. Again, we did a whole episode about this and about how this is like one of the best depictions of trauma in television.
Grief.
Like in grief.
Yeah.
It's so good. Just expert.
Before Danny does his pick, can I read you your hype draft picks?
Yeah. Where is my? I feel like I've drafted the things that were on my hype.
So
draft.
you got Across the Spider-Verse.
Nice.
Does that say that Hunter took Roosevelt too? that's
to
embarrassing.
Roosevelt?
That's not a thing. Bro.
Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Brother, all right.
Beau is Afraid.
All right.
So Drew took two things from you so far. Something called So Much for Stardust by Fall Out Boy.
Let's go, baby. I can't
Don't
wait
know
to
what that
not
is.
Talk about it.
Ferrari,
We
which is coming.
Which is coming. Ferrari is going to play
Ferrari is
festivals.
coming.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
The Zone of Interest, which
Can't wait.
did not win the Palme d'Or.
No.
Zone of Interest sounds like the name of a USA Network show, and I don't know if it's going to be able to overcome that in my mind. It's really been
It's a
weighing
show
on
about
me.
the Holocaust. So that's insulting to not only the Holocaust victims, but also
Yikes.
USA Network.
Tears of the Kingdom, which you got,
Yeah.
and Renfield, which is the reason why I wanted to list this.
Wait, what is that? I don't know. What did that come out?
Yes.
Was that released?
The
did that
the
ever like?
Dracula Nick Cage?
My boss is a little bit different.
I don't think that ever actually came out. I think that they decided that it came out like an early cut of it came out and they were just gonna like put it back.
It's
in
now
the-
streaming on the cock.
Okay.
The cock is just on fire this episode.
Fucking Christ.
I'm
Damn.
Zaslav is doing victory dances as he has Succession and canceling toxic workplaces.
I'm just gonna read a text message from a friend that's really good at yo-yoing.
Oh, Oh,
And
okay.
I
This
asked,
could be anyone.
I asked him if he liked the new Fall Out Boy,
Why are you doing this?
and he said, "I really like Love from the Other Side. The rest I didn't care for."
Wow.
That's fair. That's okay. Brett is in his kind era right now.
So, Danny, is your next pick Jimmy Butler disappearing at the biggest moments, or what's your next up?
No, it's actually Jason Tatum fake spraining his ankle, Game 7.
Oh, is it Kyle Lowry intentionally hurting dudes? Because that's something that the Heat do, that they're literally making new rules to combat the Heat fucking hurting players.
I heard they're making a new rule where you can't text Kobe before games.
See, it's actually really fucked up to make jokes about somebody. That was like a father figure to him, Drew. But if I was like, hey, Drew, you can't text your fucking great grandpa who you were really close to. He's now dead.
My great
He's now
grandpa.
fucking dead. Okay?
Leonard Dietzen the first.
Leonard Dietzen, every day before he was about to give you your little baby binky, he texted his grandpa.
Did all the girls call him Lenny?
Facts. You know, I was really close to being Leonard Dietzen the fourth. Would that be cool?
Lenny.
Your father was just like, fuck it.
My mom was like, we're not naming our kid Leonard.
How does that feel? Because then you have to know that like your
and
mom,
big ups.
your wife has to just be like, damn, your name's like kind of fucking mids. Like I won't have my child with the same name as you. Mom's like, I actually think less of you as a person because of your name.
That's savage. I've never thought of it that
We're
way.
never going to leave if I don't draft.
I told you, yeah, this isn't what Danny wants necessarily. These long.
No, he
Okay.
does.
Maybe Danny should just be fucking kind to people and let them be happy whenever they listen to this.
There's another TV show I like, but I'm just going to go 2 albums in a row here,
You aren't going to take your
Wow.
boy?
I think.
I thought you were going to take. I thought you or Ernie were going to take your guy.
I'm going to go Unknown Mortal Orchestra V.
There we go.
5.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
It's my favorite album of his.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's so...
He's had some good fucking albums.
Yeah, but this one as a complete project just really nails it for me. Meshuggah is like one of my favorite songs this year. Not the band. But it's really good. Starts with Guilty Pleasures. I haven't even looked, but it's like Guilty Pleasures. It starts off with it's so good. He's featured on like the new Portugal the Man album, which is kind of random.
Also a good album.
Yeah. But
They came up in the same, back when Portugal the Man was like a little psych indie band.
Before Portugal the Man was like getting 1 billion plays on a song.
yeah, once they made that Feel It Still money, they're like, we can keep doing this and make tons of money.
What's nice is whenever we have somebody else write the song for us and then we just get 1 billion plays on Spotify.
Man,
That was Brendan Urie, right?
I would sell out.
Might as well be.
I would sell out so
That's
fast.
the alternative that Fall Out Boy could go down. It's fucking that route.
They could just like stop.
The Weekend Run is one of my favorite tracks.
Weekend Run, That Life is really good.
It's
That Life. Yeah.
It's a good album.
Those are the main singles. There's some other good ones on here, but I think the types of songs that I gravitated more towards with UMO were more upbeat. And this album feels a lot more kind of down tempo.
It's very down tempo.
Yeah,
which is very
there's not-
unlike me. And to say that I like it is it just goes to show that it's very good down tempo.
Yeah, no, I mean the production quality is great. It's just
Yeah.
I was listening to it and I was like, man, a lot of these songs sound very like slow and like almost like ambient kind of thing.
I felt like he was focusing way more on the instruments and he turned
Yeah.
himself down a little bit.
Well,
you
yeah,
know?
it's sort of when we saw him live, I was really surprised that he was way more instrumental based and way more jammy and psychedelic in the way that this album is. This isn't my favorite album of his because I sort of also gravitate toward a different sound from them, but I do I appreciated it. Like listening to it, I was like, there's like artistry here. Like this is someone.
It's well made.
Yeah, he's making an album that he wants to make. You know,
shout out to Ruben. It was awesome. I liked it.
They're
a
coming
lot.
back.
Yeah,
Going?
We're going. I got tickets.
It's right before my
too.
wedding.
Yeah, we're going.
I got to get tickets.
day before.
No,
It's like
Let's do
a
it.
week before, I think.
it's like
right?
a month before.
Okay, hell yeah.
It's October, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll be going to that. Now,
Last pick.
This next pick, it's my last pick.
Is it the
the
Damian Lillard trade rumors or
it's a flyer. Just because I haven't spent a lot of time with it, and I have been obsessed with it since. But it's I gotta find the album.
Sound of Freedom.
just
the
to-
soundtrack.
Just to make sure I get the name right.
Get out of here.
It is Group Therapies. I was mature
Oh,
for my age, but I
nice.
was still a child.
Oh my
this
God,
is the one
this
you
is a
just
new-
shared.
I
New
just
guy.
I
Last
just
minute on
heard about it a couple days ago when Fantano posted about it, and it scratches that Brockhampton itch. It is saturation vibes like throughout. Apparently it's 3 ex-Disney stars. I know none of them, but
There are a lot of Disney stars that are just way past our time. Where it's like, who are you?
yeah, it's such a good album.
Yeah, dude, we're old.
it is a really good album. I've had a couple songs pop up in like Spotify on like release radar and stuff like that. Funk Fest and Nasty are both fucking bangers.
Smile's a really
Bangers.
good one
Smile's
too.
another good one. Yeah.
The opening track, I forgot what it was called.
Track 1.
No,
American Psycho.
Well, American Psycho. Track 1 is like a ambient theme kind of thing, but I really enjoyed listening to it, and I haven't stopped listening to it since I found it. I think this might end up on my top at the end of the year. It's just so good. It's 3 people, and it's been great. I need to learn more about them, and I really hope they continue, and I hope they don't go down the Brockhampton path of we hate each other, but we have to make music kind of thing, you know?
Well, hopefully none of the 3 of them come out as like possibly like
A pedophile.
not so great pedophile.
I really hope they don't become pedophiles.
God, you know what? I say
Is that
about-
what happened with
you know what's
Amir?
crazy?
I don't think that's what happened.
He's not a pedophile. He was a sexual
Amir-
harasser.
yeah.
Who
Which
may
we
or
should
may
have
not
seen.
have been specifically targeting people who are underage. May or may not. It's a lot of allegations.
We should have
going
seen
around.
it coming based off of his raps. But
Hopefully that doesn't happen. I do say that about every person that I meet in my life. I say like, man, Johnny from work is a really nice guy. Really hope he doesn't turn out to be a pedophile.
But yeah, I know none of us have spent that much time with it. I haven't. I've listened to it maybe like 4 times through. At
I
this
will
point.
say terrible SEO. Like
Oh, yeah.
you
I
have
wasn't
to.
sure for my age, but I was still
It's
a
a
child.
group therapy dot.
If you
Yeah.
just search group therapy,
Yeah.
It's actual
to
group
search
therapy,
therapy, man.
like in
Yeah.
Orlando.
right?
Yeah, but Fantano, which we respect and love so much.
Why?
He-
Don't fucking touch me while you say that. I'm glad that you guys like only like listen to artists who your daddy tells you that you're allowed to
Well,
listen to, and
the thing
bands
is-
that will give you clout. with
Most
women.
of the videos he posts, I don't even know what he's. I don't recognize.
I use him to find new music, right?
If I wanted to get more hoes on like Hinge or especially like Bumble, I would say I like the new Fall Out Boy. Because they would get like
well, you'd meet like
it would get all those girls
here's
who
the
work
thing.
at Disney World.
You'd get fucking wife material. Yeah, you'd be in a happy, committed relationship, is what you'd have. What
They'd
would happen?
also have daddy
Drew?
problems.
Facts.
No. Guy has mommy problems and daddy problems. Okay,
Aw.
Don't we all?
Don't get it twisted. We keep it even.
I
okay, in our
respect,
household.
I respect the Disney adults, but does this make me a Disney adult if I like this band?
group therapy.
No,
just
I think
because
you're
they're
fine.
from.
No, you're good.
No, dude. You know how terrible Disney is to their people.
I've heard horror stories.
Yeah, dude.
Even like their engineers. Like I've heard really
Everyone.
bad things.
it's all fucked.
It's all around.
But what about their
But-
Imagineers?
No, yeah, well, their Imagineers are just engineers. They just call them
Well, here's the
Imagineers
thing
to
is-
like have a thing.
No, but the thing is, like, they don't have employees; they have cast members.
right.
And nobody ever talks about how you're actually no.
Did you know they have
the only
underground
thing,
tunnels?
the only thing, worse
They do.
than that is Regal before every movie saying, get your career in the movie industry started by fucking serving popcorn to some 14-year-olds at our movie theater.
Enter Hollywood.
That's so fucked up because it's like preying on teenagers who are like, man, I love movies. It does say I can get my start in the movie industry. Am I like spooling film back there? No,
Yeah.
I'm pressing play on something. Okay, cool. Like,
Yeah, Tarantino did this.
Yeah.
All right, that's your last pick.
But-
Group therapy.
Yeah, I was thinking about another TV show, but I think I'm gonna leave it there.
Hunter.
There's one more beer here, by the way. Someone drink it if they need to talk about Fall Out Boy.
Here's the thing.
I'll
I'm not,
take it.
I am not vibing with this Topo Chico Margarita Seltzer. Prickly
Yeah,
pear.
they're not great.
It's so sweet, man. It is like it's
Yeah,
sweet
I'm not.
and tart.
That's backwash level.
No, just-
It's fucking empty. What he's like. Yeah, I don't fuck with this at all.
No, I've been slowly fucking milking this bad boy because
It's
I'm
like
not
Heartbreak
vibing
Feels
with it.
So Good level.
Heartcake feels so.
Once again,
I like that song.
You
though.
guys
I
are
like the
great
video
song.
too. The shout out to
Okay,
River.
it's almost like there's good songs on a good album.
It has a bush.
Here's the thing. I'm in a weird spot because you guys have only drafted my top 3 albums of the year. And so I have a lot of fucking music left on my list, not including Fall Out Boy.
Dude, you used 40 eggs.
So I'm deciding between a Fall Out or not a Fall Out Boy. I'm deciding between an album and a movie. And using earnest logic, I should take a movie that I don't know if it's going to make my top 10 of the year.
It might be a moment to shout it out. You know? In Drew's case, it's like, what's the actual best stuff of the year
Yeah.
so far?
Well, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go with the movie. I have a couple albums and another video game above it, but I don't want to.
Ragnarok?
Yeah, I don't want to just have 2 video games on my list. So I'm gonna go ahead and shout out a little film called Blackberry.
Let's go. Let's
I'm
go.
from Waterloo, where the vampires hang out.
Let's go.
Fucking cinema, dude.
This
Fucking
is
cinema.
finally a film learned how to perfectly deploy Glenn Howerton.
Yeah.
And
Dennis from
Dennis from Always Sunny in
Always Sunny.
Philadelphia. I think that's my favorite supporting performance in a movie this year. I think
It's
he
up
is
there.
unfucking
I would say it's
believable.
lead.
yeah, supporting.
It's
I thought
like,
it was
well,
about him.
They're gonna try to run it
They'll
supporting.
probably run it supporting.
But it's a fucking lead.
I mean, he is kind of a second lead. It's tough. It's kind of a semantics thing. If you want to put Jay Baruchel
by all
as this-
means, he's the fucking lead of the movie.
But Jay is kind
I
of the
know.
lead, so I don't know. It's one of those things in between. I love this movie. I love it so much. Matt Johnson, I need to watch his other films that he's made after seeing this, because the way that he takes what is a very traditional classic story that we've seen a million different times. It's just like a biopic of the rise and fall of a great company or a great leader. In this case, Blackberry. We all know what happens to Blackberries. We aren't actively on Blackberries right now with our notes. So obviously things aren't going to go great for them overall.
We're all on Google Pixels.
So we know like kind of that there is going to be a rise up and we know that there's going to be a fall. But the way that the story is told and specifically the performances from Glenn,
Everything, dude. The shots,
That's what
the
I'm saying.
editing,
Matt, the way that he holds the camera, Matt's acting in this as like kind of the main
The
supporting
goofball.
actor
Yeah.
is really, really fun. I really love this movie. Jay Baruchel is incredible. It's really somebody knowing how to use Jay Baruchel.
someone
Shout
knowing how
out
to put an awful wig on Jay Barrow.
Is 2023 a huge win year for Jay Baruchel?
because of he was against Jonah Hill back in 2013 because of Jonah Hill being a piece of shit.
he hated Jonah Hill before anyone else did.
Yeah, there's a new
Yeah.
Jonah hate train coming around. Yeah,
Well,
I've heard
because
about
he's
this.
a guy who uses therapy as a crutch.
I saw
and
that
to
movie,
kind
you
of
know.
combat-
Stutz or whatever?
Stutz, yeah.
How was it?
It's a good movie, but in hindsight,
Now, in hindsight, it's like,
based on the allegations,
that's a very real thing is that people use therapy to defend their opinions and then use it to combat other people's opinions. Of like, well, obviously, as somebody who went to therapy, like I can tell you
Right.
that really what you should be feeling is this.
But Blackberry's a great movie.
Blackberry's great.
High recommendation. Yeah, it's one of the movies of the year. Drew, last pick. Baby Gronk.
Baby Gronk is just sitting there.
Tiger Woods flop shot compilation.
Uploaded 6 years ago.
Yeah. Try not to come challenge.
Smosh reunion.
Smosh is back.
I'm just
John Mulaney hot ones.
I'm stuck in between.
Hey, he was a fun Hot Ones guest.
Hey, you could draft draft Baby J.
Have you ever
I do appreciate that John Mulaney had Da Bomb Beyond Insanity, which is a bad hot sauce, and said like, this tastes like chemicals. This tastes bad. Like this has a bad flavor, and if you like it, you're a bad person. I'm like, yeah, I agree, John. Thank you for saying.
Have you done the Hot Ones challenge?
I've had the Last Dab, and I've had a lot of those sauces.
The journey is much worse. I did the whole fucking 10. It's miserable. Well, it's fine doing it. It's when it leaves your body.
Oh, that's
the worst part.
Here's the thing. I'm married to someone who puts like the hottest hot sauce on everything. I feel like I've like gained, my muscles are like raw now inside.
Yeah.
My small intestine has been rubbed dry.
Dude, it was so bad. I did one of those like wing eating challenges, and I was like fine doing it because I eat a lot of hot stuff. But once it was gone, it was just
Pain.
like, yeah,
Agony.
I'm so glad I had a bidet. I'm
Just
so glad.
fucking
Also,
thing going on
if
that bad
you,
boy.
I should have drafted the bidet / squatty potty combo.
Oh, that should have been the
game
last
changer.
pick.
Yeah.
It's lethal.
That was this year?
That's when it.
Oh, okay.
That's when it joined my household.
Damn.
Amazing.
Squatty potty in general is already just an absolute.
I'm
Squatty
scared.
potty's goated. That's a first round pick.
Here's the thing is like once after using a squatty potty, it's hard to ever shit without one because it's like, what have I been doing my entire life?
You go on your tiptoes.
No, I can't go to the bathroom at work. It's not
Because the
It's
angle's
not
off.
satisfying. Yeah.
the angle's just not there. It's got a little bush.
Drew, we are
know?
vamping for you right now. We are
Is that what's
really,
fucking happening?
Yeah, we are
What's
vamping
your
for you to make
final
a
pick?
pick.
I'm gonna take
Did Pavement put out an album?
Sadly.
I am gonna take Deerhoof's
should.
album, Miracle Level.
Wait, what is this?
Deerhoof.
Oh, okay.
You big
I have
Deerhoof
no
head?
idea what it is.
Yeah, I know. Come on.
Yeah, speak on that.
So I had known for a while that this was like a wormhole I needed to go down. This band because they'd been listed as an influence on a lot of bands that I like. Because this is a band that's been around making relatively similar music since like 1997 or something like that. Like they've been around for so fucking long, making like sort of noisy, garagey, but like I don't know, toned down indie music. A couple years ago, I had Pompoko in my top 10.
Great album.
Excellent album. You listen to Deerhoof and you're like, oh, I still love that album more than maybe any Deerhoof album, but I respect Pompoko a little bit less because like they didn't invent any of that.
The guitar sounds are very similar.
Yeah. And it's
that was the biggest takeaway from Pompoko. Is just the way they make those guitar sounds.
and the vocals too.
If you never come back.
Yeah, way high up like that. The Pompoko album is more accessible than I think any Deerhoof album. And Deerhoof is like they've traversed like a lot of different sort of little sub sounds over the years. Like they've been noisier, they've been tighter, they've been like more ambient. This is a really good album though. It's not even my favorite of theirs. But this is more on like the angular sort of noisy, very, very affected guitars side. Really just, yeah, I'm a sucker for guitar effects like these. Like they're so strong and heavy, but they're not overwhelming to the point of like turning it into metal music. You know what I mean? Like it's not it doesn't become like indiscernible from note to note. That's my favorite level of like pedal board for a guitarist to have. So props to them. They've been grinding it out, and they finally got the big whabam 6th pick nod.
Yeah.
Sixth
Deerhoof,
round.
You got to give it to them.
miracle level.
They're cool. They're really cool.
All right. Last pick.
Mr. Irrelevant.
I
Or
could
Mrs.
I could
There's so many, like most of my top 10 to 15 are still available.
yeah, I could go with a show. You know, you guys know I love Dave, the other two.
I'm shocked that one of the two of you did not take
Yeah.
Dave.
I could go with one of those. I could
I
die.
forgot.
That's what I was saying over at you. Like I was just like,
forgot.
I can't believe you didn't take
Dude.
your boy.
The last episode of the latest
I
season
know.
alone is enough reason to.
I'm telling you.
forgot completely.
I'm telling you.
Oh, it's
I'm
almost
working.
man. That show really left an impact on you,
I'm
huh?
working-
I'm in a
on a-
chemical haze.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is.
I'm working on a theory about the art of the cameo. There are so many fucking cameos this year. It's out of control. It's out of control.
Yeah.
And some of them are fucking abhorrent garbage, like The Flash, which is just literally the most disgusting shit you can do. And then others are like what
Does
Dave
it count
does.
as a cameo if it's a dead computer generated abomination?
That's a great question, honestly.
Is that even count as a cameo?
Yeah, that's more
They
like
fucking nailed it though.
no. What Dave does, it's
I can't believe I didn't think about
unbelievable.
that.
Unbelievable. I'm not gonna draft it. It's fucking perfect. But part of me feels like I should dial into Destiny right now because of how we've treated Hunter with Fallout Boy.
no,
this
yeah, dial
episode.
into fucking Destiny. Let's
You
go.
already picked a fucking.
I wanna be on the
Lindelof show.
offensive.
You're already in your bag.
Let it ride. Go for it.
But there's another movie that I really liked way more than Indiana Jones that I actually want to pick. So I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm
Pick
stuck.
what you want.
Ernie, go ahead. Go with your gut and go ahead and take Knock at the Cabin. A movie that I know you were so passionate
Let's
about.
fucking go.
Oh, no. 80 for Brady's still on the board. I forgot. Fuck. Can I
Did that
redraft?
come out this year?
It sure did.
God.
I've already watched it like
Okay.
47 times.
I want to pick a movie right now. I'm trying to figure out which one to do. I really love John Wick 4. I think that's one of the best movies of the year. But I saw a movie recently that I did not expect it to be as good as it was. And that's No Hard Feelings.
Oh,
The
nice.
Jennifer Lawrence raunchy comedy. I'm going to go ahead and take it because this movie deserves praise and attention and love because we don't get enough comedies, just straight down the middle comedies. It's raunchy, it's rated R, but we used to get these movies all the time.
Yeah.
You're Forgetting Sarah Marshalls, your Knocked Ups, all your Apatow, David Wayne adjacent kind of comedies. Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg sort of picked up the mantle a little bit there, but they fell off. They haven't been really doing that much lately. And
Apple
here,
TV has 2 TV shows, with both of them.
I'm talking about movies, dude. I'm talking about a movie in the theater that you go see with other people. That was the magic of this movie. I'm sitting at home. I fire up Secret Invasion, the Marvel show on Disney Plus. Literally trash. Straight up garbaggio. I'm sitting there watching incredible actors such as Samuel L. Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn and Olivia Colman and Emilia Clarke. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Watching this show.
I'm going to be honest. I already forgot that came out. I forgot that exists. It might as well just not even exist.
I'm like, I pull up my AMC Theaters app and I'm like, let's see how many seats are open for tonight's showing of No Hard Feelings. Boom. Booked it, got in the car, went to the movie theater, had a great fucking time watching this funny ass movie. Not a perfect movie, falls into cliches, does things that you've seen before plenty of times. But the key here is Jennifer Lawrence. She is hilarious. Please, what was she doing the past 10 years? Between fucking Hunger Games and then being in David O. Russell movies, what the fuck was she doing? She is incredible as this just no inhibitions force in this movie. So funny. So fucking funny. The premise of this movie is that she gets hired by this boy's parents to date the boy, to bring him out of his shell.
And he's like, I don't want to fuck you, Jennifer Lawrence.
Well, kind of. The hook is, I don't know why I didn't get this from the trailer, but he doesn't know about the whole arrangement.
Yeah, of course.
So he's completely unaware.
It's a 90s premise.
Yeah, it's more 80s, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, it gave me like really broad, wacky vibes.
I mean, it's almost like one of those old Shakespeare premises that they remade, like The Taming of the Shrew or something like that, like a false pretense comedy.
It's something that would never happen in real life. Like, no one would ever do this, but it makes for a great movie. It makes for a very entertaining movie where you see Jennifer Lawrence be fucking crazy. She's so good at it. And she owns every second that she's on the screen. And the kid that's paired up with her is great too. He's such a fucking dweeb. Andrew Barth Feldman.
Yeah, I saw that name when I was like looking at the movie.
Andrew Barth Feldman. Wait, this guy's in white noise.
I know, bro's like, you know what? Put the middle name in there.
Barth.
Put it on the IMDb.
Throw in the Barth.
And the whole thing is
Throw in
that
the Barth.
Jennifer Lawrence, her character, she wants to get this over with quick.
I'm Danny
So she
Seoane.
comes on so fucking intense. She's like, I need to fuck this guy right now.
I need to fuck this little boy.
Yeah, so I can get my money and get the fuck out. Or a car. She's trying to get a car. And the movie, it doesn't let the story get there so quickly as she wants it to go. So there's this push and pull between the character and the plot, right? So her character wants the movie to be done immediately, but the plot wants it to be this whole thing. And it just makes for a very entertaining movie watching experience. And it felt very refreshing, very similar to last year with Ticket to Paradise.
Yeah.
Where we were just in
It's
a packed
just like,
theater.
man, this is nice.
Yeah.
Remember when this was the norm that you could just go and see this?
You're watching a 7 out of 10 comedy, and it feels like the golden drips of the water of heaven, because we don't get these movies anymore. We're deprived of them. I don't know what happened.
No, I agree with you there. Those kind of movies don't come by like anymore. You know, everything's like a Marvel movie or like a remake
They've
of
swallowed
something
everything
old.
Some
up.
IP of some kind.
Yeah.
And it's all of the rom-coms are just going straight to streaming. And it's not, I'm happy that this is a thing, because I know I have looked inward in myself, and I know I need to give J-Law another chance. It's not her fault.
She's amazing in this.
I was a J-Law hater in the mid 2010s.
Because she's been bad.
Well, I think that J-Law, whenever she's bad. But I think that way of literally almost everyone. When they're bad, when they're off, and whenever they are picking wrong projects, it's not all their fault. It's just not a great look. And after Silver Linings Playbook, it was like, can we put J-Law in every single thing imaginable?
And you watch Good Boys, right?
Yep.
I've never
similar to
seen
Good Boys.
It's the same director.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like Good Boys. It's like not a great
I've never
movie
seen
by
it.
any means, but it's like, it's a fun, raunchy comedy that doesn't really get made anymore. It's almost like it's like a super bad for middle schoolers.
Well, you know what this movie reminded me of? There was like a solid 4-month stretch in the year 2011 when Get 'Em to the Greek was my favorite movie.
Dude, I just fired up Get 'Em to the Greek pretty recently.
It reminded me of that time.
Okay.
Jonah Hill aside, all that. But at the time,
Furry walls aside.
it was the best. And it reminded me of a simpler time. So I recommend it. I'm happy that it made solid money at the box office. I hope it does really well on streaming. There is a person that I mentioned earlier in this podcast that appears in this movie, and I clapped in the theater, and I was the only person who did. So
Scoot?
Damon Lindelof.
Okay.
all right,
Honorable mentions.
throw them out.
Real quick, I have a bunch of albums on here. The one that if I was going with my heart of hearts, my next pick would be The newest album from the band Wednesday, Rat Saw God.
That's a great album.
It's
a really great
it's like a
album.
near perfect album. For
Wednesday
me.
is a
Fucking-
near perfect band.
They're so good.
Wednesday don't miss.
This album was the one that actually got me into Wednesday. I think this album is so good. I love it so much.
They're a very consistent band. You gotta, if you go back, it's like, oh wow, they just like are always really good.
The reason why I didn't take him is because I feel pretty good that they're gonna end up. That's gonna end up in my top 10.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
I have to interrupt you while you're going off. But Brett said something really funny.
Can I just like be happy? Can I have like 5 minutes of joy in my life?
Brett said something really,
Danny,
really funny.
you are my fucking 13th reason tonight.
These guys,
okay?
these guys are gonna lose it. He goes, I wasn't a fan. Hunter probably said it's a return to form.
No, I said it's a reinvention. Okay, I think it's a reinvention.
Oh man.
I'm sorry. Continue. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go cry. Go ahead.
I actually nothing else came out. Ernie, you want to just go ahead and end this?
The
pod,
My
or
Morning
just,
Jacket album, you dug it. You watched the YouTube documentary, The Return to Thunderdome, their Bonnaroo performance from 2004.
You do exclusively. That's the only movies that you watch is concert documentaries. So that makes sense. Concert documentaries and like Kyle Lowry Charge highlight reels.
Oh no.
Lana Del Rey had an album that came out this year. It was good.
We had journeyed out of the Fall Out Boy
Just
darkness.
keep fucking dragging me back in.
It just brought it right back.
It's not my fault. Brett is on Elon time.
It's
Fuck.
true. His brain's firing over there. He's got daylight.
What else you got?
Boy Genius had a pretty good album this year. The Across the Spider-Verse album was pretty good.
Hey, Metro Boomin.
Hey,
That was on my list. I almost drafted that.
John Wick Chapter 4 was fun.
that James Blake.
No, James Blake is not eligible.
My favorite band right now,
that
Origami Angel, put out a mixtape that was pretty nice.
You know, I didn't listen to that.
Pool Kids?
It's good.
It's emo.
Pool Kids?
It's beach emo.
Pool Kids?
Hunter, you can't
They
be
put out a
sad
remix album.
the rest of the episode.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm not even gonna talk about my girl Lana right now and how she had her best album since Norman fucking Rockwell.
Wait, she came out with a new album?
Yeah, and it's fucking incredible.
Wait, what?
Your boy, the boy who you only listen to for music opinions, Fantano gave it a 9.
Gave what a 9?
The new Lana Del Rey.
Doesn't this woman put out an album like every year?
Maybe you should listen to it since you exclusively listen to your YouTube king to tell you if you should like
I
music
only
or
listen
not.
to him to find new music, and the only memory I have of Lana Del Rey is I love you so much, Justin. But my gay roommate from college, he would clean the house and dance to Lana Del Rey
On full blast.
Lana's the queen.
full blast, and I love him.
So there is a new Lana album. It's called "Did You Know That There's a Tunnel Under Ocean Boulevard?" I did not know that this existed until right now.
It's fucking incredible. It's another album that's like it's firmly in my top 5, 6 of the
Hey, our boy Jack Antonoff just cranking another one out.
I actually think this is the best thing that Jack Antonoff has ever produced. I said that in our group chat at the time.
Have you heard
Everybody
Fun?
ignored it.
Have you ever listened to Fun?
Yeah, they have one album some nights that is like has half of a good album.
They have another album.
Some nights I wake up, hushing in my tears.
Theater Kids were never the same after that shit dropped.
It's called
Man.
Amen Ignite,
Is,
that album,
which I own on CD.
I know,
We
I'll
Are
say
Young, the best thing
cool
to
album
ever
cover.
happen to domestic abusers.
Damn.
Wait, which one?
I should
Tonight
have
We
never
Are
said that
Young.
return to form comment. He is rattled.
Why do you have to keep bringing it back?
I know, but like,
To the
why? I want you to be happy.
Why do you want to inflict pain on me, Danny? I'm so
I'm on
kind
your
of you
side. Everybody
all
hates the new Fall Out
the
Boy.
time.
I didn't.
All I
didn't
do,
like it.
all I do is text Drew and say like, I really think the Heat are making some nice moves around the margins this year. I'm just out here.
He's like, you know what? Actually, I'm starting to like Kyle Lowry.
I'm just like, you know what?
Those Kobe texts really speak.
I'm like, actually, I don't think Tyreek Hill did all the things he was accused of.
He definitely did. He's an idiot.
Yeah, he did some.
But he's great at catching a football.
Can we explain the Kobe text? Are there screenshots?
Bro, he posted
I got
his
you
own
today, bro.
He was texting Kobe before playoff games, dead Kobe, texting him being like,
Yeah,
yo.
because Kobe was a father figure to him.
He said, "I got you today,"
And then he screenshot it and put it on Instagram.
with the peace emoji.
Yeah, I just texted dead Kobe.
He would also wear the same clothes that Kobe wore to a Celtics tryout, being like,
And people are reacting to this like, oh, so heartwarming.
No,
it's
people are mean to
garbage.
him because they are
gross.
mean to him, and they're mean. And then they see his son actually like being kind and being a good father figure. He's
Deuce
there.
is a loser.
I don't know. Is there anything else,
true.
Ernie? Can we
That
wrap
one's
this
true.
up?
I only have one thing
Ernie,
to shout
I'm
out.
gonna turn in my 2 weeks notice to this podcast.
I only have one thing to shout out. I'm sorry. I listen to Coheed. Don't forget.
That does not give you amnesty.
It washes away all the sins I did today.
That is not how that works.
I think that
Everything
it's
I
what
did
caused
today.
him to lash out like this is that he
Yeah.
listened to it.
Okay. I only have one thing to shout out. Shrinking was awesome.
Was that the Harrison Ford one?
Harrison Ford with Jason.
And yet you don't want to dial into Destiny with me.
Harrison Ford.
You
sitting?
didn't dial
Maybe.
in.
Oh, because I didn't draft it. Should I talk about it?
No.
You're good. I can't, Ernie. I'm already. You can't have me get this low and then get as high as I will at dial. You can't see both sides of me in one episode. That's for a Patreon.
We're gonna have to fucking Baker act him. If we
All
get
I'll
so
say
fucking up and down.
about Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is I had
mids as hell, and James Mangold might not be a great director.
Don't do
I had a
that.
good time. I had a good time at the theater, and it made me think about how binary we get when talking about movies. The Rotten Tomatoesification of discussion makes it
the
so
parabolification.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, something has to be dog shit or amazing. And Dial of Destiny exists in this middle ground of like, there are so many things that are so bad about it, and yet there are so many things that are great. And you get left with this like insanely mixed bag.
Mids. It's mids as hell, which is exactly what I keep saying. It's crazy mids.
But there are enough things in the movie to make me feel like I went to fucking Disney Springs to see this movie, and it was a hot mess.
Sunk cost fallacy.
And I felt like, is this going to be worth it? And it was. I felt like it was.
Man, look at you just out here just defending mediocrity. And you are talking shit against me right now as you're fucking dialing into Destiny.
Look, when I saw that man travel back in time,
Listen, wear my fucking moccasins. Walk 2 moons.
I felt like
What's the expression?
I felt like I had no
was it.
idea what was going to happen. The last 30 minutes of that movie, I felt like I had no clue what was going to happen. And that's a great feeling to have in an adventure movie.
But I don't know how to talk about this without getting into spoilers. You had no idea how it's going to happen, and then it ends in like one of the worst ways. It's one of the things. I think that it's a worse ending than Crystal Skull.
Yeah, the wedding in Crystal Skull is not terrible.
It's worse than aliens showing up in Crystal Skull. How Dial of Destiny ends.
I liked it.
I
thought it was fun.
Sure, you got any shout outs you want to make? I can't keep podcasting anymore. I'm exhausted. I feel older.
Pine Grove put out a live album this year that's going to make my top 10 of the
We cannot
of the
talk
whole
about
year.
live Pine Grove. What do you?
I actually
what?
no. You know what? I'm glad that you brought up a live album though. Well, you said yours might make your top 10 of the year.
I said it will.
Oh,
It will.
I didn't listen to this. There is a live album that I wanted to shout out that I don't know if it's going to end up making my top 10 of the year, but it's from one of our favorite bands of last year, Black Country New Road, put out a live album, live at
Nice.
Bush Hall. And the first song that's on it, Up Song, is one of my favorite songs of the year.
So,
Incredible.
yeah, the Pine Grove's live. You guys need to get up on Pine Grove. I'm sick of waiting over here.
Okay.
Some of the best lyrics you'll hear in indie music. Really, really incredible band. Larry June and the Alchemist put out a really, really good.
That's a good one.
Tape. Yeah, just like super solid front to back. The Alchemist makes albums like that where just like they flow really, really solidly from song to song. And Larry June, I think, is a really good match vocally for what Alchemist does beat wise. So that went well. There was one more.
Yves tu moi.
If tu moi.
You already knew. Yves tu moi.
You put me on that.
That's
you
a
put
good
me
one.
on that. Yves tu moi. Did you watch the Coachella set?
No.
It was awesome.
I love that guy. Such a wild artist. I said this in the chat, but I really, every time I listen to like any songs by him, I'm like, why don't more guitar based artists just jack up the fucking bass guitar really loud? It sounds so good.
Crunchy.
Like why is that reserved for hip hop? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You can just turn the shit fucking up.
Did you like the new Squid album?
I haven't given it a full listen yet.
It's really good.
Squid is
Really good.
It's the new Modest Mouse.
I've been waiting to uncork because I love Squid.
I really, really like that a lot. That's another one that's on my list here. It's that one and Proto Martyr are two that like I haven't listened to enough yet. Proto Martyr tried to listen to while golfing. Not a great golf listen. Gotta break it to you, Proto Martyr. Get something more upbeat. Mine. Are you guys Catronata or Mine fans?
nah.
That's a great album.
I think it's the best thing that either of them have individually put out. I feel similar to that as I do about Scaring the
That's
Hose.
a crazy thing to say.
I really, really like it.
Amania has amazing albums, and so is Kitchenada.
I don't know if I feel that way about Amine. I think Amine has incredible songs. I don't know if I think that there's a Amine album that
I
love as
I
much.
agree with that.
Catronata is more of a conversation because Catronata had a really good album in what?
Yeah, the
2019?
one Catronata album is like
2020?
classic.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. But that's a great album. And also Janelle Monáe, I haven't really listened to enough yet.
Yes.
It's a good one.
Have you watched her music videos? They're porn.
She's in her titty era.
They are porn.
Shout out to
Shout out
to
to
her.
Titty Monet.
Yeah.
Geese. Put me
Geese.
on that.
Yeah. Geese
Yeah.
is great.
Geese is awesome.
Love Geese. They were
the new Killer Mike album's really good too. If you guys haven't,
that's another one that I just haven't listened to enough yet.
It's a good
The
one.
There are
new-
a couple songs on there I really
The
like.
new King Gizzard album.
Dude,
I'm shocked that one of you guys did not take King Gizzard. King Gizzard or Foo Fighters, I thought was a lock for one of the two.
I haven't like fully, you have to be like absorbed by the Gizzard. You can't just like half-ass it. And I think I listened to it a couple times and I'm like, I'm Metal Gizzard now. But it's a great album. It's phenomenal.
there's a lizard on the album cover for once.
Yeah, that is true. There's one more album I wanted to shout out.
Wait, can I read the name of this album? Of this?
Go for it.
Okay, it's called. It doesn't even fit on the screen,
It's
so I have
so
to go
long.
to another screen.
Fucking Christ.
Petrodragonic Apocalypse or Dawn of Eternal Night, an annihilation of planet Earth and the beginning of merciless damnation.
Oh, and you're like, Coheed fucking song
know.
titles are too goddamn
That's
long. Are you
tough.
kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me with
that's
that
a tough
shit?
hang. Get
Get out of here.
There's one more album
I'm not bringing it up on it. I didn't bring
that
up
I
that
enjoyed
album.
just-
I
Here-
looked right you dead in the eyes
That-
as I'm making this
that-
What,
complaint.
Bax's 3?
that
Go ahead.
sneak preview might make my end of the year list. Pollen by Tennis.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is a really
Tennis
good
has a
album.
new album.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's really good.
Once again, bad SEO. Because
Yeah.
you
Tennis.
search pollen on
The
Spotify.
Wimbledon
that's
is
not,
going on.
That's
Yeah.
not what's going to pop
yeah,
up.
pollen or tennis.
Yeah.
For tennis.
Yeah. Tennis on Google is just like, oh, you like pickleball? Yeah.
Do you
should
want to
try
watch like
this.
pickleball, but with like actual athletes?
I'm tired of pickleball. I need it to go
Pickleball's
away.
a fake sport.
It's the fastest growing sport in America.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It's
not.
I've had it. All my white friends play it.
I saw an article
much.
about like the noise pollution of like the people that have to live next to the courts and they're sick of it because it's just
Damn.
Does
Hey,
the wiffle
just
ball make
play-
that much noise?
It's more of the like,
You don't have to
Slicing
hit a
back and
wiffle
forth.
ball that
was that
hard.
Link?
just play a real sport like tennis at that point, where you actually move your
golf.
fucking body.
Play some
okay?
fucking golf.
All right.
Like, oh, cool, you have a
Yeah.
fucking big wingspan. Proud
King
of you,
Cruel
bro.
also put out a new album this year. Just
I haven't heard it yet. Is it worth listening?
I liked it.
You were a big
I was-
Krug head in the last era.
I was not a fan of his last album, to be honest.
There's
It was a
The
little bit
Ooze?
too. No, the Ooze is great.
Oh,
He had
There was
another album that
another
came out
one.
that's
Okay.
too much ambiance.
too weird.
There's a couple things I
was
didn't
sad.
mention because I want them to be surprises for the end of the year, but
Oh, because they're already locked in.
Fall Out Boy on that list, or
Well, they're going to come out with another album.
hopefully
Yeah.
something.
it's called Chemical Haze.
The one movie that I wanted to shout out that I haven't mentioned yet is
The Odessa movie.
Dungeons and Dragons: Honor
Yes.
Among Thieves.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Deserves a shout out.
Really good.
Fun movie.
It's currently right at number 10. Also, Creed 3, who's co-starring a person who we aren't going to mention.
Good movie. Tough situation.
I like the anime vibes from Creed 3.
Yeah.
That's one thing
Hey,
that I
Dungeons and
like.
Dragons is also my number 10.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Hey,
look at that.
There we go. Look at that. All right. Well, we can wrap it up there. Thank you all for listening. Please rate, review, subscribe, like, and comment, and let us know your thoughts on everything we drafted. Let us know if we did a good job with our picks. Should I have dialed into Destiny?
Are you a fucking coward?
That's a big question.
I hope the Watch Facebook page likes my picks this time.
Baby Indy just dialed into Destiny.
And stay tuned.
Baby Indy just rizzed up the Nazis.
Check out weboughtamic.net to get every episode in your inbox. Join the Discord, donate. Thank you, beautiful donors, for donating. Next week, it's time
Dun, dun,
for Mission Impossible
dun, dun, dun,
Dead Reckoning
dun.
Part 1. And it begins because then, after that, Oppenheimer. And then after that, Barbie. So,
Oh,
Banger
oh.
couple
July
weeks.
Just
is packed.
like a fucking all-male podcast to put Oppenheimer before Barbie, huh?
Yeah,
yeah.
a little sexist.
Yeah. It's
I mean, if I would have gotten the Barbie screening
yeah, Barbie's.
invite,
Where the fuck you at?
I'm
not driving to Tampa for your screeners, Barbie. I'm sorry.
You guys are lame for going to a screener for either. I'm double featuring it.
Are you Barbenheimer it?
Yeah, I'm gonna double feature.
no,
it
Drew's
straight.
gonna watch Oppenheimer on his phone while at Barbie.
Yeah, on 1.25 speed, and so that
I'm not-
Oppenheimer
I'm
will
not
end
the-
at the same time as Barbie. Because
Well, actually, if you line them up, the bomb explodes as soon as Ken and Barbie kiss.
nice.
You want to know
Like the
something
exact
funny?
moment.
I gotta tweet this out. But the other day I was I was on TikTok and I found someone on TikTok Live was just screening Avatar: The Way of Water.
Nice, let's go, dude.
Did you actually?
I was like,
tune in?
okay, I'll
You're like,
watch it.
This is how I'll watch it. It's like at like fucking 720p on somebody's
Not
Nokia.
even. It's like a dude.
This is how bro wanted me to.
You can
watch
only
it.
see like half the screen.
And that's how you
You're
dunk.
like, is that Piacon?
Hey, man, the way of water connects all things. All right, so thank you all. We'll see you next time. Thanks, Danny, for coming on.
Always a pleasure.
We'll see you again.
Take
for
your time before you come back.
The end of the year. We got you locked in for the series, for the Tom Tom series,
Yes.
which probably won't be for a while.
maybe come back in the fall for a game show.
Ooh.
I
We'll
got-
talk. We'll talk.
We'll talk. I got some in the works.
And we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening. We love you. Bye.
So much for podcast. Bye.